hurt.
Blowjobs are a no for me.
It is a skill. It is a practice skill. It is a necessary skill.
Ooh,
The secret to a great blowjob is saliva, saliva, saliva.
It's important for us to learn from this because I think we lose because we beat ourselves.
You need to swallow it too.
I understand the problem here.
The people don't understand esophagus is the main player of the game.
Try to stay away from it as much as I can.
You can start by licking the tip.
I didn't understand it, but
Patrick Agumon to Bambi or a newborn giraffe or what?
Oh, and a straight red card. Something about that little giraffe falling over still gives me a giggle every time.
Gives me a giggle every time too. I would like. This is the second week in a row that I screwed up the intro. I start the actual intro before I do the countdown.
I barely noticed. Barely noticed. Not to mention the fact that I got it perfect last time. I did it. Remember that?
Oh, nice.
Without you. But then after that, I was left with.
Now.
Nope. Because after that, I was left with 5 slides to work with the whole show. 5 whole slides, no tabs, 5 slides. Yeah, wonderful. By the way, I don't know if you saw it, but maybe Alexi Lawless and I being in more touch lately has turned him in a little bit into me because he went off his shit on his show, and I get it. I absolutely get it. I just like to see it. I mean, he called for Poch's removal. Yeah. And he yelled it. He yelled at not Mossy, Stewart Holden.
Yeah.
For like 10 minutes straight.
Yes, I saw a little highlight clip and I was like, "Ooh, I need to go and watch this." I feel like our brand of commentary is starting to leach in to other people's. Even Charlie was like, what did he say? We've got a fuck, what the hell did he say?
Oh, those guys were they lost their shit in that show, which is good. I mean, glad. I mean, it kind of takes away from the fact that that's what we do, right? So, I mean, you know,
that's right. He's like, Jimmy was like, oh, we don't have a signature win. We don't have a signature win when they're looking at the bracket of Poch's wins, losses versus top 30.
Oh, that's horrible.
Charlie goes, what a signature win? We don't, or a signature win. We have signature shit.
He's absolutely right, and we'll get into all that tonight. But because guys are Eric Winona, Cold, Holden, Bocanegra, and Brian Ching, terrible people. I think it's because they all worked on various boards of the U.S. Soccer Federation. And
it has something to do back in the day when he ran for president. I don't know if he had that kind of their backing and then all of a sudden you go pulled. I'm not saying, I'm just thinking out loud the way he's reacting, at least to those people specifically.
No offense to Eric, but I mean, he is not everybody's bottle of cup of tea, you know?
He's like
so
us.
I can see, yeah, like us. I mean, I can see where they might have, you know, issues with his blatant honesty. His absolutely, I'm just telling it the way it is wherever I go and all time. I have no censor button. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I could see that being an issue. And, you know, then we've got all these Poch interviews we'll get into for the show. The Spanish one, the one today.
We'll talk about them. I know we're actually going to play them.
No, we're not. We're going to read the article Doug McIntyre wrote.
That's fine, yeah.
What's going on in this world? Doug actually liked a comment I sent to him about his article. Not the first one, not the second one. So maybe there's hope out there. And Doug's articles are really hyper harsh and critical for once. Both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we are all moving in the right direction, which is really odd. Doesn't Doug work for Fox? Doesn't
Yeah.
Alexi work for Fox and they're the ones hosting the World Cup? Like, this could get really ugly once the World Cup starts.
Man. Fox
And
has a World Cup?
yes, and
Shit.
Poch is going to be, I think they are, the lead carrier of the World Cup. And Poch, is he going to want to come on for an interview? You know, if he's still the coach, which he probably will be, which we'll get into that as well. I really don't understand why that has to be written in stone. But yeah, and then we have the Poch post game. Did you see any of that?
We were talking about this, dude. I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that, and I know it's a second language and stuff, but I can barely understand what he says half the time.
Well,
I just rely on other people to translate them for me.
Are we going to cover that specifically, the post game?
I mean, I had it pulled up, and you said no, let's not do it.
Oh yeah, because there's no point. I didn't timestamp it, but in it he does say, Poch says, "We were the better team."
Yeah. I've got a Jimmy talked about that. Him and Tony pulled up the quote, and they quoted it.
Yeah. Okay. So if we're going to get to that later, then let's get to that then. But yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what. Listen, we all want to be positive. Okay, everybody wants to be jocular during these times, but you can't. You can't just be a fraud jocular. You got. I mean, if you're going to be, there's going to be jocularity in this show about the program, then it needs to be real. And I mean, we got.
I think they have a cup for that, by the way.
Yeah, I think they do. And it makes you feel good. I'm going to say this. I'm shocked that Poch even wastes his time snapping back at the critics today. I don't get it. I don't know why you bother. He doesn't seem to care. So why do it?
I don't know if this is going to pop up at all. But is this what you're talking about as far as hitting back? People want to talk bullshit. They can talk bullshit.
It's not bullshit. That's the whole point, dude. We're all concerned. We're extremely worried. Look at all the L's. Look at all the L's. L. Yeah. We're concerned for a reason. That's a lot of L's. Even us as U.S. men's national team fans under Berhalter and under Bob Bradley and under Bruce Arena and most of the time under Klinsmann, we're not used to that many L's in a row. He said, talk shit, not bullshit. Colin, that really doesn't change it much for me. Thank you for the direct translation. I don't speak Spanish. I'm sure you do because you speak like 11 languages or whatever. But I know that. Well, no, listen, I know because I read articles that people translate from the German press, right? That they put up. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing? That is not what the dude said. So he's got a point there. You know, I read a lot of stuff that people translate and post up from all the German outlets. And you're like, you got that totally wrong. That's not what he said. It's totally out of context what he said. And you added shit there that he didn't say. So I get it, Colin. All right. Where do you want to start with this gigantic clusterfuck that we've got going on here?
I got some soccer related fluff here.
I mean, should we talk generally?
You might see me swatting here.
Okay.
I got a really annoying fly that just loves to hang around my computer. God, just one fly, just buzz off. Aren't you dead yet?
This the same one?
I imagine unless one dies and one other appears, it's possible. I guess there may be a twin. I don't know.
I just thought maybe you captured him and tagged him, and so you know who he is.
I paint a little stripe on his wing,
like a shark.
Again, it's me to him. I don't know. I don't know.
He wanted to track his flight movements throughout the basement.
my basement footprint will basically just be like a colored blue because of how much is flying around this area.
Yeah. Green Great Basin asked, do you like toes? Hell no, dude. Have you been watching this show? I don't like feet.
Oh,
I don't like toes.
I think you said toast.
No, toes.
All around the country and coat.
Disgusting. I was lucky enough to find my wife had actually really great hands and feet. But my ex-wife. But generally, no. Yuck. I don't want to see your feet. I really don't. Don't stick them in my face either. All right.
More importantly, We like taints.
Absolutely. I'm a big taint provocateur.
That ain't a problem. What up?
I'm all about that taint. All right. There's
All about that taint.
There is a technical name for the taint, and I forgot what it was. But when I taught anatomy last year, I knew what it was. There's a technical name for your taint.
Is it the gooch? Same thing?
Gooch. That doesn't sound very technical either.
Gooch is right next to the cooch.
All right. So I'm not teaching anatomy anymore, and I
Brazilian
the
Ghost
grundle.
says grundle. That's a kid's book, I believe.
Okay, that's appropriate.
Matt
All right,
Fleury does say gooch.
All right, that's not the technical name for it. There it is, the perineum. Thank you. That is it. Thank you very much, the scheme. All right. By the way, tonight I am drinking. Yeah, that's still not coming through.
I'll ask Brock. Brock will tell you.
This is tonight when I'm drinking the Thelonious Monk. It is a Belgian style Abbey Ale at 9.54% alcohol. It's made by North Coast Brewing Company. I've had it on here before because I remember us talking about it. It's made in Fort Bragg, California. And I had to look up where the hell that is. There was a Fort Bragg Army base, obviously, on the northeast coast. What was it, South Carolina? North Carolina? I can't remember all of a sudden. Regardless, they renamed it because, okay, they named it Fort Bragg, the Army base, after Braxton Bragg, because he was a Southern general during the Civil War. Why would you name an Army base after a loser like that dude? He wasn't even a good Confederate general. He was an erratic, overly aggressive idiot. And you named a base? Well, anyhow, the states got to choose at the time. I think they've renamed it to something else now. I don't know if they renamed it back. It's Fort Bragg again, so it's back being Fort Bragg. But, as a youngster, I never really associated Fort Bragg with, it's in North Carolina. I thank you guys. I've never associated it with the General Braxton Bragg, oddly enough, until much later in my life when I started studying the Civil War, and I realized they named that shit after Braxton King Bragg, that loser, that horrible general, that incompetent poop. Unbelievable. Don't name shit after incompetent people. That's all I ask.
Is he from the area?
Probably.
Maybe he's maybe at the time he was a local hero. Who knows?
I guess. But don't name bases after the losers either. How's that? That seems like a smart idea. Anyhow, let's see how potable this is.
The potable.
I haven't had it in a while. That's pretty good. That's pretty potable. I'd say that's distinctly potable. I would give it like a 7 out of 10. Pretty good for a domestic Belgian Abbey Ale. All right, what else we got, Brett? Let's do it. Let's hit the show.
All right.
Let's throw some punches.
Let's get one back out a little bit. There we go. Okay.
All right.
So before we get into the game, because I feel like maybe what we'll do is we'll go over our take on the game, and then we'll go over all of our content.
Okay.
Because most people are here are to listen to us and our thoughts.
Oh, by the way, before you do that,
I will.
The ski's right. They found a guy whose name was Bragg that died in World War II, and I think an African-American or a woman also named Bragg, and they renamed the base, but they didn't rename it after Braxton Bragg. They named it after these World War II heroes instead, whose names were Bragg. So it's still Fort Bragg, but it's no longer named after Braxton Bragg. Wow, what a solution. Who came up with that twisty, turny solution? Smart. All right. Okay.
I think somewhere in Germany they did the same thing with another losing leader.
No, I don't think so.
There's no not for it by any means, but there's no little bar talking about
the H-Man?
H-Man.
No. Never a bar named after the H-Man. Nope. Any of the H-Men.
Spider has he was like, it's Hitler Town.
That just ruined this show.
Nah, we're 15 minutes in. We're
You
good.
can't say the H-man ever on this. I believe on this whole
We don't want
platform.
to support it. We just called him a loser. I mean, if YouTube's gonna be okay with ever use of that word, it's
No.
this guy's a massive loser.
We called Braxton Bragg a loser.
I just said Germany had a loser too that they could have named something after.
Oh, and they didn't. They
No.
didn't. Yeah.
They lost an opportunity here.
You don't name stuff after losers, right?
Yeah, it's like what's the opening line from Braveheart? They're like, "History is written by those who hanged heroes."
Well,
They're
that's
losers,
true.
but
That's true. Kind of like the whole Napoleonic history was written by the British. Well,
very
that's
small, very small.
That's very interesting that the British got to write most of Napoleonic history. And of course, that makes Napoleon a tyrant and a horrible guy, even though he didn't start almost any of the wars of coalitions, almost none of them. So whatever, you guys lost because now that's all being reversed in historic in historic realms now. All right. All right. Hey, y'all, I'm going through a breakup, and your show helps a lot. So thank you.
Glad we can help.
Any way we can, my man. I still have hope that this team can get better. I mean, I can only see that happening if we go back to like Poch's first window with this team when we played Jamaica, I think twice in a row, and looked really good and had our A team. But the reason that we look really good, as Poch said at the time in the interview, I had no real time to give these guys any sort of direction. So I gave them a few things they could do. And we did see some few things. We saw
Jedi
poaching. We saw a lot of rotation between the players. We
even talked about it at the time because we were like blown out of our mind. Like, this is the closest to total football we've ever
It was the total football, but then we came to find out it's because Poch just said go out there and play. I mean,
yeah. Well, that echoes very much on the
BJ
Hudson and BJ era too. I mean, I even have I think still have a bookmark. Pepe talking about how hey, it's great, Hudson just says, hey, go out there and do your thing. We talk to the directors, we have a lot more freedom to do what we do.
Yeah, we're just going to set you up, and you guys rotate and do whatever. Make sure you're covering for each other, and there's no joysticking here. You guys do what you do, and that's apparently what Poch said after those first games. Was like, I really didn't have any time to really get my system in. God, then flush your system out, because since those two friendlies, those two games, they counted. We've looked worse every game, absolutely every game since you added more joystick to it. Go back to the freedom.
Yeah, I mean, just set yourself up. Say, hey, we're going to be playing. We want to press. We want to do a high press, or we want to let them come at us. But don't overcorrect. Just let them do their thing. You just have to motivate them. Get them all jacked up and ready to go.
God, you really think that guys need to be motivated?
Well, it fucking looks like it. They don't look very motivated. They don't really look very motivated.
Well, I think the guys.
Some of them look motivated, but they're just like, as a team, they're just like, okay.
I don't know about that. I think they want to win. And again, I'm not going to get into that caring analogy.
Well,
I think they care and they want to win. Are they going into the game jacked up? No, you're right. They're not. They need to be going into these games. I know they're all friendlies, and apparently, according to Poch, none of these games matter until the World Cup anyhow. Whereas before, oddly enough, he said friendlies were to be won. All games matter. When I was with Argentina, it didn't matter. Friendly, not friendly, all games mattered. Now he's saying in press conferences, it doesn't matter if I win any games until I get to the World Cup. What the hell is going on with this guy? He's a complete fraud. He's a fraud. Now he's twisting his own words. Deep run, he used to say. Deep run. Just like maybe we make a deep run. Maybe we win, but if we don't win, we make a deep run like Morocco. That's what he said when he came on. Now they ask him in Spain how he thinks things are going to go, and he says, well, I can't score the goals, and I can't play defense for this team. Basically saying, my team sucks. I have very little hope. Well, get this guy the fuck out right now. Even though he's like, but we need to stay positive. Well, why don't you stay positive when you're in Spain doing a Spanish interview with a Spanish TV? Or you're not in Spain, but still, you were interviewed by Spanish TV, and you jerked around and joked about us and said we don't have any culture and we have no football integrity. What? Have you looked at our history? We make it out of every group of every World Cup except for the one we didn't qualify for since 1990. We're not every group, obviously. 98 was horrible. But 94, we made it out. And then, 2002, we did really good. 2006 was a bummer. But we've been known to get out of our group, even groups of death.
Yep.
All right. Sorry.
Yep. We'll get into some more of the topic as far as like past performances and where we stand now and what we would expect to be moving in the right direction, stuff like that. Got plenty of things to talk about here.
Yeah, and I do think, by the way, Brett, a lot of these guys losing their shit, including Davies and Miola and Jimmy and Lawless, I think they've all losing their shit because this guy doesn't know his history about this team. He doesn't know we do have a culture or had one. We had one. It was called run your balls off and play hardcore. Yeah.
Okay, well, hold on. Kind of talk. Where's that? Hold on.
We did have a culture, people. Like, it wasn't great. It's not like no one ever expected that we'd show up in stadiums and have home advantage. That's never been the case. But at least more people did show up, at least through a certain couple errors they did. Brett and I are going to the game tomorrow in Columbus to watch us play Japan and hopefully not get our asses handed to us.
Mm-hmm.
But if this trend continues and he starts Blackman again, we will get our asses handed to us. Guarantee it.
I was going to say, if we go to the game tomorrow and we win, I think U.S. Soccer should absolutely front our bill to every single game moving forward because clearly we're the good luck.
I think so.
Come on.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, absolutely. Which one should we?
Let's do super chat.
Okay.
$69 for $5 says, haven't been able to watch you guys live lately because my new work schedule, but I always catch the replay. Love the show. Please don't ever die.
Listen, Jude, we totally understand the porn industry and how off hours are and how much work you got to put in prepping for each scene. So we get it, Puto 69. We do. All those 69 scenes that you do too. Got to be difficult because you really can't focus on your own enjoyment. You have to focus on the lady. And then it's just sort of a secondary thing. Oh, I'm getting happiness too, right? But no one's really doing their best job, right? No one's doing their best job. It'd be better if you just did it one at a time. Anyhow, but not for the industry that you're in. You obviously need to be multi-talented and multifaceted. All right.
Says, how do you know I do porn? we can see all your guys' bios, every single one of you.
Right. And
dude, I had a moment this weekend where I said something to Jackson. How do you know that? He goes, I do. Dude, I'm your dad. I know everything. And he goes, how many fingers do I have behind my back? And I go, 4. And he goes, no, because he's running from the other room. How did you do that? How'd you do that? I go, I'm telling you, I know everything. He goes, how many numbers? I go, 3. He goes, no way. How'd you do that again? Dude, seriously, I know.
Brett, I seriously.
Oh my God. I seriously went like 8 in a row of me guessing it correctly before I was like, dude, I'm fucking bullshitting you. I don't know. I'm guessing. I have a 20% chance,
don't
dude.
Tell him that.
No. Now, I got it wrong eventually is the thing.
Oh, okay. But I got a card trick I got to show you that will blow him away for at least the next 10 years. I got to teach you this card trick because, I mean, I've been killing my parents with this card trick for like 10 years, and I won't tell them. I will not tell them how it's done. And they are just, you got to tell us. I'm like, nope, not going to tell you.
Yeah.
Drives them nuts. All right. After 5 years of seeing this new generation play, here's where I've landed. We shouldn't really playing much different than U.S. men's national team playing from 2000 to 2014. We should just be trying to be better at it with an overall elevated player pool. We've lost any semblance of identity. Yeah, I guess what he's saying in striving to become this more, play this sort of more Barcelona style, opening it up possession, although calling it Barcelona style is an absolute atrocious offense to Barcelona ball. But this tiki-taka thing that we want to do and possession-based ball, like we can't do that. And then you're right. I'll let you read your own words.
So I said, Klinsmann sowed the seeds of this wheel of identity we've been playing for over a decade. Of course, Jurgen ended up conforming by the 2014 World Cup, and we looked better for it. If you're going to make the change, it has to happen uniformly at a youth level and not at the seniors. By the time they hit pro age, we have an unpolished stone. It might get shinier, but ultimately it's the same stone. So
Yeah,
starting with Klinsmann, that's when the whole we've got to find the American identity. Like we've had an identity.
Yeah.
we play a very specific style. And
Yes.
It's worked okay for us. I mean, not great by any means, but I mean, we're definitely punching above our weight limit. Do we really need to change it? Let's just perfect it, But no, we got to change it up. All of a sudden he does that, and then all of a sudden Greg's in there implementing his style. Now Poch is here talking about his style. And we're lost as a national team.
I think you're right. And I think Bob Bradley got to almost the most perfect point of perfecting what we did.
Bob Bradley's style in 2010 would be absolutely perfect for this squad.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep. But alas, as Poch says, we have no identity, we have no culture, and we have no history just because he doesn't know about it. And I don't frankly know what we're trying to do out there, Brett. I mean, that South Korea game.
Apparently we're doing exactly what he tells us to do. I mean, exactly. I mean, he's like, hey, the guys went out there, they performed the way we want them to perform. We just got unlucky. We outperformed South Korea. We had more chances. This echoes the 2-1 loss in Canada, where Berhalter came out and goes, "We dominated." What were you fucking watching again? I understand we had 80% possession, but we didn't have shit.
So my mom, I was at my parents' this weekend. I told you that because I texted you. She quit the game. 37 minutes in, quitted. Said, I'd rather go watch this other American chick, lose at tennis than watch this horse shit that I am watching right now. And my mom was right. And she's like, how are you dealing with this? How do you stand this? And I said, well, I kind of have to cover it, so I got to watch it, and I'm just not going to get over emotional about it. My mom's more emotional about it than I am. She was swearing at the TV, cursing, and, she was just like, this is frustrating. I don't know how you watch this shit. I get it, Mom. I get it. It got better in the second half later.
Yeah.
But when we switched to the three in the back, it got a little bit better. But
I really think South Korea kind of took their feet off the gas too.
Oh, for sure they did. Yeah, they're like, let's just keep a clean sheet. Yeah.
I don't know if this is one of the times teams get for Call It What You Want show or not, but they were talking about going to the back three and basically like, hey, it's not a really good assessment of whether or not this is going to be a good fit for us, because at that point 2-0 up in the second half, South Korea kind of backed off a bit. So, of course, it's going to look better because we're going to have more possession. We're going to be more aggressive and everything like that.
It sounds like, based on your text, you've thrown Sargent out the window.
Oh, we just jumped right into it, huh?
Yeah.
Real quick before we get to that.
Mm-hmm.
Colin does say our stats were really good versus Korea. Not sure if you looked, but plus the Korean goals were nasty. You know what? I'll say this much.
I did see the
outside of the two goals by South Korea. It's not like they were just an abundance of opportunities that I'm sitting there going like, oh god, Breeze wasn't coming up like a beast, saving like 45 shots.
It's not like we could have lost 5-0. No.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, we could have lost.
Those are two really good
5-0.
goals. we could have put some away. I mean, Balogun had 3 opportunities right there.
Bang,
goal.
bang,
That's
bang.
like bam, bam. And their goalkeeper came up massive.
Yep.
Huge. Could have changed the game. Could have changed it all right then and there. But that doesn't take away from the fact that the game was just bad.
Yeah, it was so putrid. That first half was so bad. Yes, we did change it around and end up having all the possession in the later half part of the second half, about after the 60th minute. But, the first 10 minutes of the second half weren't very good either. So, I mean, I don't know. All I can say is if you think that we dominated that game or we were the better team, I just don't think so. I think, as you said, Korea just said, yeah, fuck it, we're up 2-0.
It's a friendly. I don't want to get injured at this point.
Let's just sit back. Let's throw all our subs in and just sit back and absorb. So, El Duke, 32 for $4.99. Any of the Euros snubbed have a chance for the World Cup 26 roster? Colin Reese wants to know, as his MLSers are not cutting it. Oh, God. All right. A swipe in a super chat at Colin. I'll just say this. I do think there's a chance we'll see McKennie in October. We'll see Tessman in October.
I suspect we're going to see a lot of those names kind of resurge.
Cardoso.
I still think there's going to be some of the MLSers that we're seeing consistently from Gold Cup to now. I think we're going to see a smattering of them still.
I think Berhalter will probably make it. Luna, although he did not shine in this.
Berhalter. I mean,
I know he didn't either. I just think that he's going to hang on to a couple of them, and then
sure, no, absolutely,
all 3 goalkeepers will be
100%
MLS.
yes.
And I'm not even worried about that.
Ream's still going to be in there.
I always forget that Ream is MLS. I'm sorry. He played. I watched him play so many Fulham games in my life.
He's still going to be included, despite the fact that Jedi will be back, barring an injury, of course.
Yeah.
No, I think there's going to be. I really do think in October. I'm leaning into my Chicago Fire.
Yes, you are.
Here. I really do think in October we're going to see more of the core squad back, and I think so.
I hope you're right. I do, although I'm not 100% sure, and I do think some of these MLS guys, maybe even a McGlynn hangs in there. So,
double. So I'm barring injury. I think Pepe's going to be back with Flo. I think Sarge is going to be dropped back off. The thing made earlier. As big of a Sargent stan as I've been, and I still am. I like the guy. I think he's really good and everything like that. And he did a good. There were early in the match. There were a good couple combinations between him, Dest, and Pulisic on that our right hand side. But it all amounted to nothing, and Sarge just did not have that killer instinct. Something you've been talking about.
Did you see? And I wish we had a still of this. I think it was Berhalter steals a ball, serves it to Sargent on the top of the box. There's nobody within 10 feet of him, 10 yards of him. And instead of turning around and lighting that shit up into the right corner of the goal, he drops it off to Pulisic. Do you remember that part of the game? I texted you when it happened. I was so infuriated. I nearly threw my beer across the room because that was his time. That was his time. And he acquiesced. He said, here, Mr. Boss of the team, you have it. I don't want to take responsibility. What the was that? I nearly lost it, and that's when I said to myself, that's it. He just doesn't have it for the U.S. He doesn't have the eye of the tiger, or whatever you want to call it, for the U.S. men's national team. At Norwich, he takes that ball, he spins, he might even dribble a guy, and then scores. But not this game. He drops it off to CP.
I mean, here's my thought process when it comes to him. We talked about the last window that he was in. What was it? The Nations League? Was it the Nations League? Yeah, it was Nations League. And you talked about how there was that interview with the Norwich Press that he was like, I'm really nervous, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I'm like sitting there going, if you think your shit is on the line, like, hey, if I do not perform here, I'm out for the World Cup. It's not going to happen. He's not going to call me back in. You got to take your chances. You got to make yourself known. You don't want to just be a passenger. You got to say, I'm taking the chances. I missed that goal, that opportunity right there, but it wasn't by much. And that's going to stick more in Poch's mind than him laying off a ball and nothing mounting to it.
Right. Well,
as we said earlier in his Norwich career, grow a fucking sack,
grow a pair of balls. Yeah.
And perform. This is ridiculous.
He has not been able to grow a pair of balls for the U.S. men's national team. He's been given some chances recently, and he has shown that his sack is small in these particular situations, unfortunately. We've been massive Sargent supporters for a long time. And
I'll watch more Norwich games and everything like that and sit there and wonder why.
Yeah, and you got to wonder, but you just look at his demeanor when he plays for Norwich. He's like, I'm the man. Pass it to me. I will score. If you don't pass it to me, I will let you know you made the wrong decision. U.S. men's national team doesn't do that shit. Now, did he get any service or not much service in the first half? No, he did, but I'm sick of saying that. After a while, make yourself available.
Well, yes, and you bring that up, and I was going to make the same argument too. I'm like, well, no, he just wasn't getting any service. But you know what? Flo came in, and there was an immediate change. It wasn't that he was getting service, but he was opening up the space that gave him opportunities to get service.
Yeah,
and it wasn't even like service, like balls getting lobbed in or anything like that, but like a through ball here, through ball there type of thing.
He's playing off the shoulder. Yeah.
So it was. You got to change.
And it was high IQ stuff from Balogun, by the way. High IQ, knowing where the vulnerabilities of the defense were. There were times when we were on the attack. Sargent got in the way. He didn't he didn't pull a defender to a different direction. He just stayed where he was. Like, no, move. You're going to force somebody to go with you. It'll open up more space. And he didn't do it. And I took the notes of the times I noticed it. There weren't many times. We didn't have much possession while he was on the pitch, frankly, but he didn't help when we actually did have possession. He was actually clogging things up rather than helping. And he was moving defenders into the attack where we were coming from instead of moving to an open space and making someone follow him there because he's a threat now for a pass through a channel. I I don't know where his head is, man. I don't get it. But, you don't see a whole lot of that with Norwich either. He's not a channel runner at Norwich. He gets in the box. He gets long balls. He does, stuff like like a kind of certainly not a Balogun, that's for sure, and not a Pepe either.
Well, even so, here's another difference too: is with Norwich and stuff like that, they do a lot of high press. He presses the goalkeeper, he presses the center backs, and the rest of the team is pressing up with him.
Yes,
but it does appear, for the most part, despite the fact of what pundits and people will say, is that Poch is kind of content. It seems like, because he says the team's doing exactly what they're telling him to do. They're content with playing a mid. They kind of sit back, not all the way back, but they sit back a little bit, let them fuck around when they're defensive third. And they're not really pressing. And it's just like, okay, that doesn't. I mean, Sargent. A lot of his opportunities, not a lot of his opportunities, but some of his opportunities came from just pressing the goalkeeper, pressing the defense. They get rid of the ball, and all of a sudden we have an opportunity to press. But that doesn't happen with the U.S. national team. So
no, it doesn't, because we don't press together. We don't. And we're really easy to break down. I don't know what that jackass press is, but it's useless. It worked one time. We caused a turnover there. I don't know. It's just they played through us so easy in that game. For a lot of the times, just like, what's the point? Is this it's a half-ass press. It's not like a full-on press. It's a half-ass press.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Luna's running his ass off all over the field to nothing. And then, we're supposed to judge Luna completely on this game. He barely touched the fucking ball in the first half. Like, Korea had, the ball constantly. And whenever we got it, we gave it up immediately.
That's why when, like you said, Luna didn't shine that match. I'm not blaming Luna on this match, quite frankly, especially the start of the second half. Especially, you notice that the kid was busting his balls all around the pitch, And it helped.
Yep.
It helped definitely on the press. We need more of that. We need more of that energy, more of that aggressiveness, that grit, as we always talk about. We also need him to get on the ball to help create some stuff too. But that seems to be hit or miss because he wasn't getting the ball at all. It seems like.
No, I mean there wasn't much offensive anything in the first half. And then Pulisic was just again like in the first half, like Sargent, he's just a ghost.
Well, that's the thing too. Just like Sargent, quite frankly, there were moments of brilliance. Him, Dest, and Pulisic had like these great combination plays.
There were
in
some.
the match.
Yep.
But then all of a sudden it fizzled out. All of a sudden they're ghosts, like you said. They're just not there. Where'd they go?
Too far in between. Yeah, there's just not much going in that first half. It did get better in the second half after we switched formations, but now you're talking 65 minutes into the game after being dominated for 65 minutes for the most part. And things got better with the new formation for sure. And I think it even freed up Balogun, frankly. And then the MLS guys that came in, like McGlynn, looked pretty good in that formation. Like everybody looked a little bit better. But
I sat there and I even watched Roldan. I actually mixed up Roldan with a couple with the other players. I'm like, oh, was that so and so? No, I realized later. I'm like, oh no, that was Roldan. Shit. I'm not saying that he stood out by any means, but I mean he didn't. Wasn't terrible. But then again, we were all in the second half. It was a different game because again, I think Costa Rica. I think South Korea sat back. They kind of like.
Well, they didn't
go a win.
Yeah, they didn't press high anymore. So that helped. I think that having Richards on was a big help too. I think he covers lots of ground. So
okay, well, if we're gonna talk about that, if Richards was in, I mean, it's possible that someone was gonna be able to split Richards and Ream, just like he did with Blackman. It's possible that that Richards would have given up on that second goal, like Blackman did. Like Blackman. Okay, let's talk one goal at a time here. Okay.
Yeah.
That first goal, Blackman's watching the ball. Sun splits him and Ream. Ream. There seems to be no communication at all because it doesn't seem like Ream's reacting to it until it's too fucking late. But he's already behind Blackman, who didn't look over his shoulder by any means.
Well, no, it's like Blackman had no situational awareness to peek over his shoulder to see who's going to split him. Like, you got to know it's their best player. His name is Son. Yeah. He played for Tottenham for years. He's one of the best players in the world, probably in the top 100, no doubt.
Like, what obviously I'm not expecting our center backs to be man marking by any means, but you have to be aware of your area.
Mm-hmm.
Of players who might be running in. You have to constantly be looking around for potentially anybody who's coming into your space because you're gonna leave yourself open if you're just watching the ball.
Yep.
He was cutting off a passing lane. I grant him that much, but then again, there's still passing lanes around because not everybody else is helping in that situation.
Well, it didn't help that the whole midfield and defense in front of them was passive as shit.
Yeah. Dude.
Yeah.
Where the fuck was Adams and Berhalter in that front?
I know they were just like
dude,
they had ages to make that pass.
It was a clusterfuck of issues, and the talking about the second goal and everything like that. Ream and Blackman had managed to switch in that time period because Blackman was more central and Ream was actually kind of more right. And Ream got spun, and Blackman went to go press guy. Then the guy passed it off, and he just sort of turned and just sort of walked back. He just like looked around. Arston, Dest, and Ream all got back into the six before Blackman even started running. And I don't mean to be putting this all on Blackman because there's faults all around the board.
Yeah.
But I'm like, as far as making a name for yourself on the national team, and we'll get into the fact that this is a hodgepodge of debuters
that shouldn't be here.
Maybe they shouldn't be here, but then again, Tony has a great line for this. I mean, as far as I'm going to paraphrase him. We'll watch it later, but basically saying I have no problem with calling in 2 or 3 people to really test newbies out and see what they're like, but they should be doing so with more or less the core squad. Because how else are you going to judge how these players are going to react and play alongside of McKinney, alongside of Jedi, alongside of insert regular core squad here?
Yep.
So-
No, you bring the core squad.
I don't
and
know.
then-
It's just, I mean,
Yeah, then you bring in some guys that you put in for 20 minutes at the end of the game to see how they handle it. But that's not what we did. We just started. Blackman, welcome to the USMNT national team. Oh, by the way, you're starting as the center back next to Ream. That's crazy town what we did. But I guess
first fucking call up. You're in the starting. I mean,
but
work him in, man.
I suppose if your goal is to assess whether or not he's material for the USMNT national team, the answer is no. But I don't know if what you did to him was very fair. I don't think throwing him to the wolves immediately is the way to figure that out. Maybe if you had worked him in earlier, like 6 games ago, bit by bit, maybe he would have had a better shot. But throwing him to the wolves, yeah, he got him taken advantage of twice.
Hey, here's an idea. We already know what. Not saying that we shouldn't have called Zimmerman during the Gold Cup by any means, but we already know what Zimmerman brings. We already know what Miles brings. Why not bring him in at that point? Bring in Blackman during the Gold Cup if you really want to give somebody an opportunity.
Oh, they hadn't identified him yet. That's what I heard.
Fair, but,
yeah.
Okay.
So.
Well, I guess that's the thing.
Well, it took a couple more months of scouting Berhalter and Brian White to figure out Blackman thing. Yeah.
I mean, they wouldn't have been on any more excursions during the Gold Cup by any means, and they weren't really playing many games during time period because that's when the Leagues Cup was going on. So yeah, I don't know. It's how are you gonna really scout him any more than you already had at the point before this call up? Like
apparently
2 or 3 games?
They've been talking about him, but they hadn't really made the commitment to him. As you know, they went with Miles and Zimmerman before that. So I guess Mark McKenzie's just sort of out of the picture. Now, that might be one guy who's not coming back.
I feel like he falls in line with just all the other Euro players that kind of got the not the snub. I mean, you can say snub, I guess, sure.
Cold shoulder.
The cold shoulder this window.
Yeah.
While Poch is experimenting and testing, this is the last opportunity. I couldn't find that quote anywhere for the life of me, but I know for a fact I read it like in 500 places when it came out.
It's as if you run a business where you cook dinner for people for a living, right? You're a personal chef that comes over. And the night before the big dinner, you decide to try a totally different recipe you've never used before. Ever. Ever. You have these standards that are really good, right? You know are going to work, but you're going to try some new ingredients, some new this and new that. And you cook it at home the night before. You've already told them that's what you're going to do. This is what you're going to do. It's what you're going to cook for them. And it's a disaster. And it tastes like shit. And now you're scared shitless going into the next day where you're going to have to cook for these people because whatever you did the night before was a complete disaster. And now you can't really put your finger on what the disaster was. I think at least at this point, we know who some of the ingredients are that aren't working. So maybe that assessment, I don't know if Poch saw it or not. Yeah. I don't. Maybe he thought basically he made a shit dinner and he thought it tasted good. That's what he said. This was a shit dinner. We all watched a shit dinner. And he said, no, it still tasted good. We got to be positive because even though the rice tasted like ass, hey, the lamb still tasted okay. Later in the dinner, after the lamb cooled down, it tasted better than when it first came out of the oven. But the rice, yeah, we fucked that up. I'm not sure how we're going to fix the rice, but that's where we're at, dude. We got a guy out there who served us a shit dinner and said it tasted great. And we were supposed to all go, oh, yeah, you're right. Let's stay positive. It's just absolutely insane to me. We've gone from bad to worse as far as communication skills and dealing with the media. We thought Greg was bad at this. We thought Greg was really bad at this. But
we'll get into the comparisons between Greg and Poch here in a little bit with the Carly Lloyd's files. So.
Apparently, Greg's pretty average, and Poch is just garbage at this.
Well, I feel like well, all it indicates is that Greg understands the U.S. players better.
Well, he certainly got there, right? It took him a while, but once he got there, and he stuck
I
there.
feel like Greg understood the pool. Quite frankly, he may have had his favorites and everything like that. But I mean, as a whole,
Early on,
the last show too, he eventually got to the point where he called in the best players.
Well, and Poch should have known this because he came in his first window. He called the same people in. He's like, oh, Greg must have got something right. I'm going to call. I don't have time to do all the research. I'm just going to call on the same guys. And, well, that has completely gone south at this point. They're all crap, or at least a big handful of them he thinks are golf playing, friend dinner having, pathetic, not committed, heartless, no guts, no balls guys. I mean, he said it himself in multiple interviews. So that's just, I'm telling you what he said. That's what Poch thinks of those guys that he's not calling in. They're not fully committed. He said it, not me. He said it. Julian Vivas, $4.99, just arrived. What do you guys think of Poch being mad at the press? Oh, what a wussy. I want him to get fired.
Talk shit.
So do I. So does Alexi Lawless. Wow. Also, Sargent should never play with us again. Well, yeah, I think Sargent might have burned his last bridge there.
Might have happened unless come Japan, he comes in off the bench. Let's just say and scores a hattie. Not gonna happen.
Here's the thing: I know that Balogun has a minutes restriction too.
Yeah.
So
we haven't seen Downs though. So at that point, maybe Bello starts and maybe even Downs comes in instead of Sargent.
So what happens is I think his minutes restriction somewhere around 90 minutes over 2 games. So you'll see Balogun come in and play 60, then come off, and you'll probably see Downs. That would be my guess. Yeah.
Again, this was Sargent's opportunity. He had the opportunity to come out there and really make a name. Hey, you got the ball. Take the defense on. Go for it. You do it with Norwich all the time. Take the defense on. Try to get an opportunity. If not, lay it off at that point. But it's just too timid. It's unreal.
Yeah,
I don't understand how it works out, quite frankly. But
well, I know a lot of people are seeing BJ, and I said I'd just be happy to take BJ. Don't think it's like the best solution, but I'd take it. And now you got people shitting on that too, like, "Oh, BJ didn't do shit." And
we'll get that. We'll get that very shortly. Yeah,
people we know and we like. It's kind of like, come on, man. All right, we'll get to that.
Well, at some point, though, we've indicated already. We talked about it. How basically the coaches with this squad, not saying all squads, but with this squad, the coaches who basically were more hands off and just let the players express themselves.
Yep.
Seem to have had the better success.
Yeah, just ask Poch's first window when he said to the media and the press, I haven't had a lot of time with these guys, so there's not much I've given them there. I told them to go out. I gave them a few pointers and things they could think about and do. Out of that, I just said, go out and play. All right, look how that worked. Okay, granted, it's against Jamaica, who's just good on paper, but not really good in games. But they gave us a match, but we were really good. We were really exceptional in those games. And since then, the more he's got his fingertips on this team, the more it has looked like garbage. All right. Duke for 32 for $4.99. Thank you, brother. We do appreciate it. We need a number 6 that can spur urgent counterattacks when we recover the ball. Tyler Adams sets a tone back, passes, and stagnation. He must not start. I think he's going to start. I don't think there's any way around that. I don't care if it's BJ or that takes over, which isn't going to happen, but I wish it would. I guess the
question is who in our pool is going to replace him at that point? Is it going to be Aiden Morris?
But Brett, there aren't a lot of 6s in the world who are great at that kind of distribution. You might say Aiden Morris, but with Aiden Morris, you do lose. He's a better distributor. I'm not going to deny that than Tyler Adams.
He's also not an out-and-out 6, though.
He can be.
I'm saying he's not, though. Sure, he could be.
He plays more of a 7, like a 7.5 or whatever.
You're splitting the 6 and the 8, huh?
Yeah. So he's not a true 6, but he can do it.
Sure.
Cardoso is a better distributor. If he could stop fucking up for the U.S. Women's National Team, that would be nice. But I just don't see any way around not having Tyler Adams there. And the way Tyler Adams is employed at Bournemouth makes a lot of sense. That's not how he's being used here, unfortunately. He is more of a, actually somewhat similar, but there are no outlets. At Bournemouth, there's always some sort of outlet, right? There's eventually someone to pass it to who can make the next pass. We don't have that.
Well, who was next to him? Berhalter was next to him. I'm not saying that Berhalter can't lace a nice 40-yard ball, change a point of attack. But I mean, it's not the, hey, this is going to be the better distribution option here.
Right. And if you want to criticize Berhalter for a lot of things, you can, but you can't really. I know he made that one bad pass out
the one that everybody was pointing out,
It's like, but come on. Generally, his service on set pieces is good.
100%. No, I definitely couldn't criticize him for that.
He's been pretty good with long balls in the air. That's one of his strengths. I'm not going to criticize him for his strength. I'll criticize him for where I think his criticism should be, which is when speed of play picks up, he's a little bit slow to make decisions sometimes. And Korea up his asshole, and he lost the ball a number of times because of that. He was not thinking quickly.
Well, we always talk about, there was like, well, why can't it be an MLS or over a Euro? Why does it have to be? Why are you a Euro star? Why do you have to play in Europe in order to be called the national team? And the one thing that I always talk about is, I mean, and I'm sure other people have the same opinion. They think about the same thing too: is speed of thought, speed of
play,
distribution. You're constantly being hounded upon by 3 or 4 people who are trying to take your job. So you've got to be sharp. You got to think quick. You got to move quick. You got to make quicker decisions. Whereas in MLS, you don't have that. If you make a mistake, whatever, you're most likely don't have somebody that's pounding you from behind that's trying to take your spot. So yeah, exactly, right? So I mean, there's a difference when you have that pressure. Even if you're talking about the leagues like Belgium and Holland and Denmark and stuff like that. Yeah, and that the more lateral moves. We always talk about this. But, I mean, you always still have people from behind that are like, hey, I want your spot. I'm going to take your spot. If you fuck up once.
Well, and it's speed of play, too. And I think international ball, things move faster than they do when I watch the Vancouver games. And so Colin can say I'm wrong all he wants. I just watched the game, Colin. I watched Berhalter lose the ball a number of times and be slow in reaction. So I don't think he was quite ready. And as the Korean coach said, they weren't ready for our speed and our press and how quickly we came at them. See, it wasn't just Berhalter. Tyler Adams lost a fucking ball a bunch of times too. He wasn't ready for it either. And he plays at Bournemouth in the fastest league in the world, probably. So we just looked like we were on our back heels, period. The whole first half. So it wasn't
you have games and performances of Adams. Let's just use him as an example since you brought him up, where he's played well at his role. Of course, he's had people around him who are thinking faster than that point. But even our A squad can fuck up. I'm not saying they're infallible. Our A squad can absolutely fuck up. So it's not just Euro versus MLS in that front. What I'm saying is that generally speaking, when you're playing in a European league, you've got to be sharper. You got to be smarter, and you got to play better.
And
otherwise you're going to get removed.
And I'm not blaming this on Adams or Berhalter when I say this. They didn't look in tune with each other.
Sure.
Sometimes I saw them both go up, and the other one go, "Oh shit, we're both pushing up." When only one
Adams
of us should be
push
pushing
up at all. Poch should be on top of that. And say, dude, Adams, you are supporting the center backs.
Yeah.
While Dest and in this case Arfson are pushing up, you're supporting our center backs. Do not get too far into our offensive third.
But how many times during that last game was Adams way ahead of Berhalter?
Exactly. That's the point, right?
Yeah. And I don't think they don't know each other. So Like when McKinney plays with Adams, they got an innate understanding of like, you go, I cover. And sometimes Adams does push up beyond McKinney, and McKinney covers.
It'd still be a rarity, quite frankly. I think if I had a choice between Adams or Berhalter as far as getting into our offensive third, who might be in and around that box, I'm giving it to Berhalter every day of the week.
Yeah.
That kid can score goals if he wants to. Adams is like once in a blue fucking moon every 45 years.
And I will say this as an addition, by the way. Berhalter spent a lot of time running after nothing. I've never seen a guy run so much and do absolutely zero since the Aronson, Brendan Aronson. Like,
can't be passionate. He hasn't really got an opportunity. Go for it.
I love the fact that he wants to give it all, but sometimes you put the rest of the team at a disadvantage when you overexpose yourself by being so energetic. Sometimes you need to just cover space. You need to cover the channel, not go. And that could be on Poch. Maybe he's been told to do that. But I did notice a number of times when Berhalter exposed his own team by being overly aggressive in a situation he had no hope to get the ball. You're like, why are you running your balls off when you know you're not going to be able to get there? And they're just going to triangle pass right around you, which is what happened several times. So, I mean, there's so many little things that need to get fixed. And I don't mean to pick on Berhalter because it happened to fucking Adams too when he overcommitted. All right, it's not just Berhalter, it's Adams. Adams got played by his overcommittal times when he was overly committed. So anyhow, it is what it is.
Well, I mean, and getting to that point though, it's not like Weah excelled. I mean, there were times where his touches were off completely. His decisions weren't great. Pulisic ghosted a lot of the match. Sargent wasn't there. The Euros aren't, like I said, aren't infallible. I'm not saying that they are. I'm just saying, generally speaking, when we're looking at this, if they're performing well, the Euros are going to have a cleaner mindset as far as their touches and distributions and thought process than a lot of the MLSers, unfortunately.
Did you hear Poch's excuse for Weah?
No.
He said, well, the reason Weah had a rough game was because he's been playing a lot of fullback.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Yep, that's what he said.
Shut the fuck up.
He's getting used to a new position. He isn't really been playing a whole lot.
Oh my God.
Sorry, did you watch? He started the season at Marseille.
Isn't he new to you, Poch? Good fuck off.
He's at Marseille playing forward, all right, and winger. So come on, dude. I'm not buying that excuse. He just looked off, and he's looked off at Marseille. So what's the surprise? It's not a surprise.
The 3 games I watched him playing for Juve, he was a wing back, so this is the new position for him. So we're expecting a lot. We're expecting a lot.
Jeff Lovebug Carey for $4.99 says, I feel like maybe part-time Poch doesn't really like our country. Disrespectful. He surely sounded in the Spanish interview to be disrespectful of our integrity, our culture, our intensity. And listen, he's wondering, I'm sure he went to the college games with Lawless, which didn't seem to help Lawless's opinion that he needs to go, is that he looks at that and goes, well, why can't we have that for the U.S. men's national team? Because you
Stop sucking.
You stop sucking. You see all those L's, L, win, L. We're not used to that. We're not used to that.
Well,
even here in the United States of America. No, we're not. Name me a coach who was playing that bad, who had that many L's in a row.
No. We're sorry. I thought you meant we're not used. We're like LL. We're not used to that. I thought you were talking about wins. Sorry. Never mind.
Yeah, no, we're not used to losing this much and this consistently. We're not. Fans aren't, and I'm old, and I'm not.
It's a combination of a bunch of things. It's a combination of the team, not playing inspiring soccer. It's a combination of the team not being very likable. Combination of the coach bucking around, whether it was Berhalter or Poch in this situation, more so than Poch in this situation. But then you throw in like the cost of tickets. There's a reason why it's not a pro-American nobody wants to go and spend. I know we did, but nobody wants to go and spend $130 for a tier 2 ticket, like up in the second.
Oh, by the way, what section are we in?
237.
237. If you want to come visit, I know we've had a couple people contact us.
Yeah.
So who want? Yeah, that's where we'll be. So we hope
the likable narrative is not dumb though. This is the same reason why there was a dip in the women's national team, because some people thought that they weren't likable either. Likable narrative is absolutely is a big talking point when it comes to why don't we have a college football atmosphere when it comes to fans showing up to the sport.
Who said this team isn't likable? I can name you. Well, let's start with Herc, Seb. There are a bunch of people who have said it, and I don't necessarily.
Let's just go down the list of the independent pundits too.
Yeah, lots of people have said it. Davies, to some degree, said it. I'm just saying there's something to that. People don't look at this team and think they're getting the big chip team that they're used to seeing. That's what I was used to seeing for years. The Dempseys, the Jones, the guys with the big chips on their shoulder coming in saying, we're kicking your ass. And I don't care who you are, Portugal, Ghana. I don't give a shit. We're beating you. And then look at all the years that Klinsmann went to Europe for friendlies. And we beat Germany and Italy. Come on, people. We've done all this before. We're not asking that much. And Poch is now not likable. This team is not likable because of that. Partially, Poch attacked Pulisic for a month straight. Made him sound like he didn't give a shit. Yeah, that made to a lot of people Pulisic unlikable. It's not right, or it is right. I don't know. That's up to you. I'm not here to tell you how to feel, but I will tell you this has been ugly. It's been ugly, very ugly.
Umar, it's not a narrative,
No.
unfortunately, because I mean this started pre-Poach. This started during Berhalter era, quite frankly.
Yep.
You had times where even came out and said, "Oh, it'd be nice if we had actual Americans in the stands and stuff like that." Which I agree. It'd be great if we had a pro-American stadium of fans watching the U.S. and rooting them on. But you can't get there if you're playing uninspiring, horrific soccer.
Yes, it's been bad.
It's been. I can't count on two hands how many games since Berhalter took over in 18/19 till now that I'm sitting there going super wowed by how our team performed. Maybe I'm maybe a little bit hyperbolic here, but there haven't been a lot of awe-inspiring games out there. There have been a lot of grinding out results and. Hey, we beat this team 1-0. Yeah, we had 80% of the possession, but 90% of it was passing back and forth between our center backs. I'm not going into any game thinking, I'm overly confident that we're going to win this match. Even when we play CONCACAF.
2 points, by the way. Number one, we're unlikable in general because we're losers right now. We're losing. That's just a natural thing that happens. Okay? Number two, we've never, ever really had more fans in the crowd, except for at Columbus, than the opposing team. That's just not something that's happened. And all the other players in the past got used to that. The problem is there are even less U.S. men's national team fans in the crowd now than there were during the Dempsey era and the Landon Donovan era. There are less fans coming to games than there were 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Why? Because we're losing. For a while there, we were winning. Things looked okay, right? We were winning Nations League. And I think the general feeling was pretty positive for the most part. Not great, but positive. So when you start losing...
Positive in the sense that we were winning hardware within CONCACAF. Not so positive in the sense that it's really drawing in more fans because, again, we weren't really playing it very inspiring stock by any means.
Yeah, and then the unlikability thing comes with the whining with Pulisic specifically and the coach calling him out and calling him, saying he doesn't care. That doesn't help. the likability meter. And then, because I think generally Pulisic's a pretty likable chap. And so is McKinney. And so is, Moose has got to be one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Aronson, all those guys are really nice guys. They're good, likable guys. So there's no reason except for we're losing. And that's it.
Whoever's doing the marketing arm for Pulisic at this point. Because it's drawing in other people. You're starting to get, Weah saying, the guys before us, they didn't win shit either. Or you have McKinney, battling back saying, hey, these guys do this, and then they try to get you on your, they're nice behind the scenes, but then this. And it's just, get the fuck off social media, guys.
Yeah.
That's as much as I can say. Don't have a media presence. Don't worry about a book, Christian. Don't worry about this docu-series. Don't do that shit. It's painting a bad picture, a bad highlight on you right now, and it's painting the same picture on the team itself.
Yeah, you know what's kind of funny in these more recent interviews with Poch, who's getting featured in these posts and press conferences, sitting right next to him, our homeboy, turd in background.
Hey, he's in there. Nice.
Yeah, and he does come off as a really nice guy.
I like,
But do keep in mind, he's also the guy that will not call some of our friends up in the media anymore and let them ask any questions. Michael, come on, Michael, just do it. Call Meg up. Call Meg. Let Meg ask.
I'll come back to this, but yeah, my wife/daughter are posting. Don't swear, Daddy. There's another one out here. Oh, I'm sure I've sweared quite a bit here.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you did. I just don't even notice anymore. I just don't.
Here you go. We have listen to Charlie's text, you big fart head.
Okay.
Let's bring it back in. Let's okay. It's getting a little too intense there.
All right. Brett Oppenheim, hey, brother. I don't know why, but I did a Google search of you the other day. I can't remember why. Oh! No, that's not it. Sorry. I thought I had an O moment, but I didn't. Somebody asked me.
An O moment, huh?
Somebody asked me who you are, and I was trying to explain it to him. So I'm like, well, I'm going to Google you. And then there were all these pictures of you on a runway, or maybe that was your brother. I think he's a twin, right? Anyhow, Brett, for $10. What if Poch was disillusioned with A-Team in the first camp? Oh, he's not in the first camp, second camp. And has decided to punish them for multiple camps. Oh, for sure. That's what's going on.
Sending a message, like I said.
Yep. To make them hungrier and less entitled in his mind. There is no doubt that is definitely was a part of this story. But he knows he needs them all for the World Cup. I mean, we're hoping he knows he needs them all. And we will know in October whether this punishment is over.
This right here takes me back to Thursday's show when we had that little kerfuffle during Herc's segment when he's like, Greg called in, he only had one player play during the World Cup, final, whatever it was, against Netherlands, not final by any means.
Ferreira,
yeah. But it was like, I'm like, yeah, but because he was making a point that there's no quota because even Berhalter did this. I'm like, but the point is that he did start that way and eventually got to that point, and that's what Brett's saying here. That he's playing these symbols, which mind you, for a different reason than Berhalter was playing them for, but ultimately in the end, he's gonna see the light as well.
Better start praying that is true, because I'm not sure. We'll find out in October. I think he has sent a message, but then there are other guys that I think he's not only sending a message to. I'm not sure if he knows they exist. I really seriously wonder about Joe Scally making any future teams. I seriously wonder.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, under Poch, Scally was a consistent stalwart.
Until the golf cart incident.
Get over your fucking self. I'm talking to Poch, not you, Derek. By any means, I want to say that. Poch, get over your fucking self. Grow up.
And then Tessman. Is he watching Tessman at Lyon this season? This is the best I've ever seen Tessman play.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't know. And that's the thing. The players don't know either, Brett, because Poch doesn't call them and tell them, yeah, we're going to leave you off, Tessman.
it strikes me as odd. We have limited windows now that if you wanted to test a predominantly strong MLS squad, why not test them during Camp Cupcake?
Can I ask you this, Brett? Do you think if Berhalter arrived at Lyon tomorrow, he would start for Lyon?
No.
Nope.
I don't imagine so.
I don't think McGlynn would either. I don't think if Luna showed up in Mönchengladbach, would he start? No, I don't think so.
Reyna at this point, Reyna had during the one friendly they had, during this time period, when you were saying, oh, they still have practices and stuff like that. Hey, Gladbach went out and got some friendlies scheduled up,
A lot of people.
He went in there. What did Reyna do in that one friendly they had? He got a nice assist.
Yeah, if you look at the lineup, Brett, you would have seen there were a lot of 2-team guys on that.
Oh,
roster.
sure, I know.
Yeah,
I'm not saying. Hey, I'm just saying. Hey, he went in there and did his business starting off. He's
it was
putting
good.
his right foot forward, and then it's going to be his left, of course.
You got to start somewhere. So
Absolutely.
Good for Reyna. He's fighting his balls off to make this team. Anyhow, thank you, Brett. Someday we'll have you back on the show again, I think, and we'll talk all this out.
Right.
Jeff Carey.
I'm gonna let you talk about this and then talk about some other things. I'll be right back in just a second, okay?
Mm-hmm. All right. Must be some drinking making duties for Brett. Jeff Carey for $1.99. MLS is the 12th to 13th best league in the world. I think it could be higher than that. I don't know. I don't like to get into league comparisons because it's so difficult. We said this on the show before, Jeff, but Belgium usually has one or two good teams. Bottom of the Belgium league is garbage. Holland usually has 5-4 teams that are really good. The really bottom of that league is garbage. France has really good. France is definitely a better league than MLS. But you go through this trend over and over in Europe because there's so much parity generally in MLS. It's kind of hard to say. But yeah, obviously it's not better than the best 5 leagues in the world. It's certainly not better than probably Brazil, which I think is a really good league. It's questionable, maybe competitive. I don't know. You look at a guy like Miljevic, who couldn't make it in MLS and starts for Huracan in Argentina and is a starter and a really good player in Argentina for a top 5 team. I don't know. What does that say? I don't know. You can't use those kind of individual comparisons sometimes. Maybe Miljevic's a different guy than he was when he was in MLS. You could do the same for a lot of different leagues. Is the championship better? Generally, I think it could be or is. But then the bottom 4, 5, 6 teams in the championship are basically League One teams who probably shouldn't be there, and they're going to get relegated. So it's like impossible to really compare leagues. Yeah. So it's just difficult to do. But I don't know. If you want to get around 12, I'd say that's fine. I wouldn't argue with you. If someone wanted to say 9th, I'd say, okay, yeah, that's arguable too, depending on how you look at it. But there's no fair way to make that measurement at this point. All I know is this. The top 5 leagues are all better, generally, even when you average them out, than MLS. And maybe even Portugal. Throw them in there, 6th, right? I think they're all better than MLS. Then you look at Austria, and you look at Belgium, you look at Norway and Sweden, and then you're kind of like, man, actually, the top teams in MLS are a lot better than the top teams in Norway and Sweden and Finland, for sure. We're not even talking about that. And then, but, conversely, Salzburg, I think, would be really competitive in MLS and have a chance to win in Austria, but they might be the only team in Austria that would have that opportunity. So, yeah, listen, this debate can go on forever. All I know is this for a fact. The top 5, maybe 6 leagues are better than MLS, period. End of story. Right now.
I will say, though, if you're a player and you go to one of those not top 6 leagues, the Austrias, the Swiss, the Belgium, all that stuff, and you bust your balls and you perform well, you're more
Yeah.
likely to get a transfer out of there. Not saying
Yep.
that you're not going to get scouted in MLS, but you're more likely to get a transfer out there at a reasonable price than, say, MLS, where they may overvalue you and may hold back. Like, we guys still got 3 years on this contract. We're not going to entertain your $8 million bid.
Right. And Fumer makes a great point. It's not MLS that we're talking about. It's Americans in MLS. I think Tax says that a lot. The problem isn't that MLS isn't any good. It's really improved in my years here. We have talked about that. Like, MLS was a fucking embarrassment until Beckham got here and the thing started to evolve. It was an embarrassment. It really was. It was hard to watch. It was putrid.
Would you say that we had better American players in MLS at that point, though?
Well, of course, that was their spot, right? They were all contracted specifically to come back to MLS, and there were some good teams like DC United. It was a really good team. Some of the early DC United
Beckham
teams
came in around the 2006 era. That would have been the Houston Dynamo era too, with Brian Ching, who
Yeah.
doesn't like.
It was getting better already, but the real evolution and transformation of this league started with Beckham.
Yeah.
That's when the money started to flow in. But yeah, the problem isn't that there aren't a lot of good players in MLS. There are. They're just not American. We told you the most consistent, contributing, scoring center forward that is American in this league, and there's only one of them over a 3-year period, over 3 years, is Brian White of the Vancouver Whitecaps, who year after year after year now has scored consistently. We've had some guys that have spurts like Vasquez and then disappear. We've had other guys recently, but recently Brian White's the only one that does that. That's not saying a whole lot. And if you look at the assist lists, guys giving assists, guys scoring goals, where are all the Americans in those lists? In the old days, you'd have Landon Donovan all over that. Not anymore. When Dempsey was here, you had Dempsey all over that. Not anymore. So MLS is fine. MLS Americans, not so great. They're not the stars of the league. And that's a fair assessment. That is a fair assessment. We would like to get to a point where some of these younger players play 2 or 3 years in MLS and are so goddamn good in MLS, they are one of the stars in the league, and they must leave immediately because they're that good. That's where we need to get to. That's not where we are. It's not where we are. We do have players that are sold to other teams, usually at a very young age. So,
oh man! So E just texted me a screen cap of our YouTube chat, and must have been right as I got back here. But Tony, you're gonna get a call out here. Said pegging time for Brett, and then E responded, goes, "Ew, I don't like that, Tony."
What do you mean you don't like that, E? Isn't that your thing? Anyhow, I kid, of course. It was a part of the skit we did with the blow-up doll.
Yeah.
And so that will always remain as is. We got to remain in character, E. Remember that, EB.
Yeah.
All right. Eldon Hassick for $5. Peak was 2023 Nations League. BJ kept things simple. Good call-ups. Didn't complicate tactics. Yes, brother. That is true. That was kind of the peak. I've never can remember us playing that good ever. Just not that good. We were at the best we had ever played. We crushed Mexico. We were dominant. It was a joke. It was so obvious. It was so obvious we were the best team in CONCACAF at that point. It wasn't even up for discussion. Even Mexican fans were like, "Yeah, they're better than us." All right. No, not in the skit, EB.
No, in fairness, though, Derek, at the end of the skit, you got pegged by a bull.
Yes, but not willingly. Remember, she snuck in on me while I was asleep. We're in the dark and got me.
So they always get you.
While when I met EB and you at the adult store, you guys were actively looking for strap-ons. So
We were just looking for a 10-incher. We didn't specify strap-on,
you
Derek.
did say 10-incher.
The 10-incher.
How big is your colon? All right.
Brian DeMarco goes, "Is that really Brett's wife?" And Spider's Latin says that's one of his wives.
Yeah, God.
I don't. How could I? I don't have the mojo to carry on 2 lives like that. Good Lord.
I'm sorry, that's illegal here in Indiana.
I'm not. I don't have. I don't have that much game at all. I'm
Yeah,
lucky enough to have gotten this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I will concur. All right.
Our kids are listening. Well, that's on you, B. That's on you. You know this. You know this is not.
They have no idea. But they have no idea what we're talking about.
Dude, when Jackson goes to his friends, he goes, "My dad's a YouTuber." I'm like, "Don't you dare tell them that."
Don't tell them that. Jesus H. Christ.
I don't want any. All I want to get is a phone call from Hazeldale saying, "Oh yeah, we have a bunch of kids watching the Stray Red Car." I'm like, "Oh no!"
All right, Brett will be fired immediately from his job. All right, BJ Callahan selected this 11 for Gold
Swear
Cup
to God,
25.
Jackson. Sorry, Jackson threw something down and he's laughing as he's running upstairs.
All right, BJ Callahan selected 11 for the Gold Cup semifinal against Panama, which he lost. What is with these narratives, people? Things would be different with BJ. Oh, shut the fuck up. Our friend says the Fed gets what they want, and this is it. I'm not saying things would necessarily work out with BJ. I think they certainly be different. He knows all these guys. He knows these players. I do appreciate your telling us to shut the fuck up, but also the lineup that you put up for a Gold Cup.
Yeah.
Gold Cup. You're putting up a Gold Cup roster as an example? Please, dude.
What's the context? What's the context here? The context is less than a month prior to this Gold Cup, we were picking in the Nations League. Now, how often do you see a nation incorporate their European players for 2 months straight?
Well, guess what? Look at this
Doesn't happen.
lineup and look how many European players he ended up calling in anyhow.
Well, as I mentioned, it's Gold Cup. When Nations League has been founded, Gold Cup has always been an MLS and European fringe.
Okay, but if you zoom in on this, you'll notice the starting lineup has a lot of European fringe players on it.
Yeah, fringe, I agree.
Well, at least he did that much.
Yeah.
At least he did that much.
I was fine with the Gold Cup squad, quite frankly.
Reynolds, Busio. I think Busio was already there, wasn't he?
Yeah. I think Sands may have still been with New York at that time.
Cowell's on his way to. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a Gold Cup, dude. You can't use this as an example of what BJ Callahan would do. Please. This was Gold Cup. That's what we've been doing for years at Gold Cup. I don't understand this as an example. I love you, brother, but this does not help your argument. It hurts it.
Yeah, go back literally like 2 weeks prior. Take a look at that squad. Who was facing Canada and Mexico in the finals?
You think he would have picked this lineup if he was able to pick another group? Of course he couldn't. He just played in the Nations League 3 weeks prior. You can't call those guys up again. That's how this worked back then. All right. Whatever.
I remember this narrative too that Berhalter was the one behind the scenes in this squad because Berhalter did not want to take back over. It was announced during Nations League actually, the semifinal against Mexico. Berhalter was coming back because we talked about why would you announce that before the finals when Gio is starting? Why would you do that?
I have never heard anybody make this particular argument against BJ, and this was a bad one, and it makes no sense.
Oh, about the squad? Yeah.
I mean, if you want to criticize BJ, then criticize him on the times he was able to call up our full squad and compete with our full squad. You want to do that? Well, fine.
If we're going to offer Gold Cups, let's go up Gold Cups. Just let's take a look at Poch's Gold Cup. Let's take a look at Berhalter's Gold Cup. They're all the fucking same.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. All right. See, Jeff Care for $1.99 says feeling great today after my monthly shower.
Oh,
I'm sure that's probably. I don't want to assume what's happened with you in tact, but it's probably not a good thing. It's probably not a good thing for tact.
Jeff has to clear those cobwebs off his taint eventually.
Maybe it's the month.
Oh, all right. We got a visitor. Okay.
Jackson came running down here and he threw a white tissue of some form and said snowball.
Okay. Well, I hope you're
giggling like a schoolgirl.
I hope your kids don't get to the point where they feel like during your show they're able to now interject. I hope not.
It would make for some very interesting conversations for our show.
It certainly would.
I've told Jackson multiple times, don't watch my show.
Yes.
It's not appropriate for you. Daddy says stuff that I don't want you repeating on the school playgrounds.
Right.
Just don't watch my show. Just assume that I'm like I'm right up there with Mr. Beast. That's how popular I am. Just assume that.
Yeah. Well, it's like when my brother went to like first grade and repeated stuff my dad said, right? That got him in big trouble. He'd say things like, God damn it. God damn it was like a really fucking regular thing in my household. All right, Chad. Hey, looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. $10. Here's some gas money tomorrow. At least Richard should start. Yeah, Richards will probably start.
Better.
But let's be really clear. The reason Richards didn't start the last game, according to Poch, is he's carrying a little bit of a niggle. They were a little concerned, so they only played him for 30 minutes.
Colin had mentioned, Colin, I'm sorry if I misinterpreted what you said there, that he didn't start Richards because of the bullshit that was being talked.
No,
that's why he played Blackman.
No. He started.
Maybe I misunderstood what he said there.
I can only tell you what Poch said in the interview, and he said, we were a little concerned. We put him on a time limit, so we only played 30. If it gets better, he'll play the next one, but if not, he'll be limited then too. So there we go.
Good news, Chad. Depending on which car we take, if we take my car, that $10 can get us to Columbus and back.
That's true. That's true.
The joys of having a Prius.
Yes.
Daniel says, Brett, when Jack would ride a horse, would you help him off? So basically, would you help Jack off a horse?
Oh, that you read.
I pulled that up for purpose because
you read that for free.
I read that for free. No, there are a number of times where I will say hey, Jack's or whatever. It's, somehow Jack and then off happen to be next to each other, and I'll say the sentence, and I'm like, oh, God, that sounded awful.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's play a couple of those call it what you want clips. Not all of them. Jesus Christ, really? We got more?
Dude, we got sidetracked by a bunch of stuff here. I wanted to talk about our community, our fandom, real quick.
Okay, all right.
Because while watching U.S. get bumfucked by South Korea, I received an intervention with a fan concerned about my health.
Okay.
So I said, hey, let's go! Game time, USA versus South Korea. Score predictions. Let's have them.
Damn, dude, it does sound like you had your cock and balls out already.
Seriously, I was ready to roll. Yeah, as I tell them, and I think it's going to pop up here. Dude, when it comes to U.S. men's national team games, I understand there's a lot of drama and a lot of shit that's going behind the scenes, and we talk about it all the time. But when it's game time, I'm fucking jacked. I'm ready to go.
I was really not for this one. I kind of knew what was going to happen.
I'm ever the optimist, Derek.
Well, while you were lubing up your cock and balls, I was already lubing up my asshole because I knew what was going to happen. I knew we were going to get fucked. That's what I knew.
So, a member of the community of U.S. men's national team enjoy. I got a second guess whether or not he really enjoys it.
Enjoyer, I believe is his full name. Yeah.
He says, "Fuck off with the shit." Is our wording. Okay, fair. I mean, it's like, okay. He's like, hey, this stuff's not for me, man. This stuff's not for me.
He's not much of a U.S. men's national team enjoyer, is he?
So that's why I said, hey, I always get hyped for the game, regardless of the crap that's going on with the team. They've got the crest, so I'm supporting them today, criticizing / praising them tomorrow. Technically Monday.
Yeah,
tomorrow
great.
was Sunday, so that wouldn't have worked out.
Criticizing mostly, yes.
Yeah, predominantly hindsight. It's always 2020.
I
It's
can't
definitely
believe
first
you
now.
were thinking you were going to get to praise them.
I might get to praise somebody, I guess. I'll praise Balogun. How about that?
There's like a 20% chance you were going to get to praise.
Yeah.
All right.
He says, enabler loser.
Well, he has no idea who you are, does he?
And I said,
He has no idea who you are.
so he calls me an R-word
Oh my
alcoholic.
God.
And I said, I think you meant top-notch alcoholic.
Oh my God.
I think I meant MLS-loving piece of shit. Degenerate drunk. I had to look that word up. I had no idea what it meant.
It means you have cirrhosis of the liver.
In fact, yes, I know. Yeah, I figured that out. I figured. Hey, he educated me. He educated me that day. I learned.
Does this guy really know who you are?
I'm a drunk degenerate apparently, and MLS loving piece of shit. Well, he's gonna expand upon that. It's not necessarily just loving piece of shit. We're gonna go from further here.
Okay.
So I said Prost.
Okay.
Of course, I'm not an alcoholic. Sure, I'll agree to that. Yeah, you know you're worthless.
You're worthless.
You are a lovely person and enjoy my timeline. MLS apologists are subhuman.
How are we MLS apologists? This is insane.
You've made a lot of assumptions based solely on the fact of a let's go post. Keep up the good work. Chicago Fire fan, go fuck yourself.
Fuck yourself, he knows.
Have been since 98 doesn't mean I haven't been critical of the league as well as the club. You're an MLS apologist and a dumb fuck alcoholic. All the puzzle pieces fit. I said, you keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Oh my God.
And then Chris Carey jumps in and goes, what the fuck is this interaction? So I said, it's a fan of the show concerned about my health. Yeah, he's like, hey, dude, you got fatty liver syndrome. You should probably lay off the booze, is what he's saying. I get him, man. I hear you.
Oh, my God. This is classic.
And he tells me to eat shit.
Oh, come on, man. He was doing so well until the end.
Oh, and then I said, I'll pass no matter how seasoned it is.
Oh,
and then Chris
boy.
Carey goes, you eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
All right.
said,
this is good.
Oop,
oh, you used the
no.
classic.
I found it. It's actually on me. It's on Twitter. Who would have thought?
I created the GIF, actually. Anyhow.
No.
Right.
That's how I enjoyed the U.S. versus South Korea match. First half. It only happened in the first half. Because at that point, he finally fucked off and didn't respond. I have to imagine it's a troll. I don't think it's a real person. It's definitely not a real person that thinks I'm just some degenerate alcoholic.
The number of times we've kicked on Garber and the nutsack on this show and MLS, I can't imagine anybody would think we're MLS shills by any level. But all right, man. Whatever. Just because we've been watching the league since its inception doesn't make us shills. I mean, let's be really fair here.
It was one of my favorite reactions. Just that whole thread. It was great.
Yeah. All right.
I enjoyed it thoroughly. Real quick though, E decided to finally turn off the show. She said we hung up right after Derek said he lubed up his asshole.
All right, for the 369 of you that were here at one point before this rant, make sure you like, subscribe, and share it with your stepsister. Oh, Jesus H. Christ. All right, what else we got? Let's finish this bitch up.
We're moving along. Real quick. Dan says, I want Jose Moreno, but financially probably unrealistic right now.
Correct. Done.
And I said, I'm at the point now where managers' resumes.
It's not appealing to me.
I need someone who understands the pool as well as our players.
Yes.
And this is my big argument here: is that if we're going to take the next step on the international stage, it's got to start with the youth. In the transitioning from youth club to pro. Not saying USL is a great league, but it would have been it would have been ideal having MLS 2 teams play against men and not a glorified academy league.
Yeah. Oh, Brett, are you just giving up on our current pool?
No. As long as we play our pool to their strengths and not trying to force them into a round peg or round peg. Whatever. Square peg, round hole, I guess.
Yes, that's better. With
Uh,
a little lube can fix that.
if we use their strengths, because you can't. This is the issue I had with Klinsman. You can't make a whole complete 180 change on our style, our identity over a cycle. These guys, this is the whole unpolished stone where it can get shinier, but it's still the fucking stone. It still is what it is.
It's not even a full cycle, too. So
you can't change that shit. Yeah, Poch can't do shit. Poch can't. Here's my argument here. Poch can't take us to the next level on the
No.
international stage. What he can do is he can get a fucking result, but he can't take us to the next level.
Quit talking about how you're going to change the culture for the future. We didn't hire you for that. We hired you for this fucking World Cup, you fucking moron.
Yeah.
Get on board. Start focusing. Fuck you and your, I'm going to change U.S. soccer culture. Who are you? Greg Berhalter all of a sudden? We don't need that. We didn't need it when he wanted to change the way the world views American soccer. Who gives a fuck what the world thinks? And you want to do the same thing now. All right, well, fuck you. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. Move on.
So BMR asked me, he goes, hey, do you really think there's a coach out there that's going to take us to the next level right now?
No.
And I said no, because I think our biggest pitfall overall is our pool IQ. There are moments of brilliance, but not long withholding. There's little to no ball off the ball movement, and our next handful of passes are obvious. Play is sloppy and minds drift.
Yep.
Can a coach accomplish what BA did in 2002? Sure. Poch could, in theory, take us to the semifinals and lose, and that would be the best we've done since like the fucking 50s. But you know what? That's not going to take us to the next level.
And it's not happening.
It's not. It's a one-time tournament result. And he Bimar asked, so there's nothing that Poch can do to take us to the. No, there's really not. I mean, he can get us playing better this entire time leading up to the World Cup, but he's not doing that. He's not doing that at all.
He's not even doing that.
Him getting a result in the World Cup won't amount to shit as far as taking us to the next level. Because guess what? Iceland and Greece, they made wonderful runs through Euros. Doesn't mean I'm expecting them to do the next fucking Euro.
Yep.
It's got to happen at the youth level. We've got to develop these players at a younger age and progress them forward.
And so if you're really looking for an emergency manager in this situation, if Poch is going to get fired, which I doubt he will, although Alexi's all in for it, I'll say go with the guy who knows the pool really well and has great relationships with the players like BJ. I don't think you go for a big manager at this point. I think it's too late, especially a big manager who doesn't know the player pool. It's too late for that. You need somebody who has a relationship with the players, knows how they play, has been an assistant coach for a long time, that's the only solution right now, this late in the game. And I talked to somebody, and I can't tell you who it is, but somebody who knows BJ Callahan, and he told me, take this with whatever grain of salt. If you don't know me from a hole in the wall, you don't have to listen to me, but I don't ever report on things I haven't heard and believe. He'd be absolutely 100% willing to take over if there was an emergency situation. Now, the guy who told me that, I have to say, that's why I said take it with a grain of salt as well. I don't really know him that well. It was an out of the blue message to me.
Did you ask BJ's friend for a BJ?
So,
hey,
just telling you,
friend, can you give us a BJ, please?
I don't know how trustworthy that is, but I actually do believe he would do it.
Oh, I absolutely 100%. I mean, he was with the team for what? Arguably about 4 or 5 years there. Would he want to continue, coaching the national team? Given his fucking track record as a manager, Yeah, absolutely. That was the highlight of his career until he went to Nashville, and he's doing well in Nashville. Sure, I'll guarantee him that much.
Yeah,
he's doing good. But that interim, that couple months span where he won Nations League, actually took a C squad through to the semifinal, lost in PKs to Panama. I mean, that was the highlight of his career. And then he went to Nashville, is doing well there. Would he want to go back to the national team? Oh, 100%. I can't fucking see it. Of course it would.
I think Nashville would allow him to do that too. And they just to get an intern manager until he comes back, frankly.
Yeah.
But that's what I was told, and I think I knew that anyhow. I didn't really need that message.
Well, it's been verified, but yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that he would want to. Sure.
Right. Matarazzo is available. Yep. He could fix a crazy lady. Well, one thing, Wuxia, for $2, thank you, that he's always been able to do is take a team on the verge of relegation.
Staving off relegation,
and save them. He does more with less. Now, does it last over time? No, because then after saving the team from what looked like relegation the next year, the team expects him to do way better. And he hasn't really done that, but he has been known to take very little and make more of it. So there's that.
Well, you can make the argument that he does a good job as making sure that you don't embarrass yourself. And
he's
then
very pragmatic
when it comes to excelling and taking a team forward. But then again, that has to do with the player pool itself. If you're taking a team that's fighting off relegation to begin with, they're not the next season. They're not going to be contending for a Champions League spot. Are you fucking kidding me? That's the dumbest argument you could have. Just be happy with the fact that the manager is keeping you in the Bundesliga.
They haven't been happy, and so he's been fired twice. So.
Progress forward at that point, but I mean, yeah, it's just like, what would you expect? Oh God, we're in 13th place and third of the way through the season. We got to fire your ass.
And I can't even remember what season it was when he was replaced. They got worse. So there you go.
Suck it.
Anyhow, the other options, if you want to go American/German, are Wagner, who I think he's unemployed right now, and
Perez.
Fabian.
Not German, but Perez.
Yeah. I don't think Hugo Perez has any shot. I'm talking about realistic.
I mean, do we think Matarazzo has a realistic shot at that point?
Yeah, no. I don't think it's realistic, but I think they've talked to him and they know who he is. Like they've talked to David Wagner and they know who he is. And Fabian Hertzler, everybody knows who he is, right? Sure. I mean, what he's doing and done so far and so quickly. So I think those are guys for the future. I don't think they're guys for now. I think if you're looking for emergency, there's only one guy right now, and that's, maybe two. That's BJ, or I think some people saying Bob Bradley. I think Bob would do a good job at that, at trying to rescue the situation. I think maybe he could. I'm not betting on it, but I think the most natural selection is BJ, who knows the pool, knows the players trust him. And by the way, the players don't just trust him. The players loved BJ Callahan. They would die on a fucking hill in a relentless, fruitless charge. They would die like the Light Brigade, the charge of the Light Brigade for BJ Callahan. They love that dude. So,
that's one reason why I was talking about earlier. It's like with the national team at this point. I mean, I don't think bringing in a high profile coach. I mean, I know my tune's kind of changing after Berhalter was fired or whatnot, but at this point, I'm kind of over the fact that I'm sitting there going like, I want a fucking hype man that knows our player pool, and that's about it. I don't need much more than that. Just hey, I'm gonna get you fucking jacked up, ready for this match, and go out there and do your shit. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Chuck says for $1.99 says bring back the empty bucket.
Sure.
I've been a proponent for that for years.
We've been 4-4-2 guys for a long time, and it's not changing. Yep. Soccer Satan for $2. Tab Ramos played in '94. Full Circle Destiny. Yeah, I think that as much as Tab has tried to be more careful lately about what he says about U.S. soccer, I think his original comments rubbed them the wrong way. And I think he's out of their good graces.
Yeah.
So, ladies want the Herb Renard. Who doesn't? It feels good. It looks good.
I'm hesitant at this point now. I've become gun shy after Poch.
Yeah, Herb wouldn't know the player pool. That's the problem there.
I'm really hesitant moving forward at this point. I mean, just give me somebody who understands us. That's all I want.
On this short of a notice, not Herb, probably.
Clinton is a good example of a foreign coach who understands us. Mind you, he still had his pitfalls, of course, and we had our disagreements. But I feel like he understood the player pool and eventually came to the conclusion as far as what's going to work best. But I'm not 100% sold that Poch is on that board.
Yeah. Tactical manager says he was, and we got
Carly. Let's start with Carly.
I thought Berhalter was the problem. He was a problem.
That's what Tex is saying, right?
Right. I don't know if my cousin
from another
mother understands this, but a lot of people are not going to get what your point was there.
I feel like I feel like she is reaching into a particular posting type of tactic that sometimes Lawless does and sometimes Winaldo
Not anymore.
Just the very generic overall stance, like, hey, this is what I think. Hey, maybe this is an issue. Well, what's your point? Because Tact even goes into it, because she does have a reply to Tact. I'm going to pull it up here in a sec. In text, like, before I even get into a reply to you, what was your original point?
Yeah,
because
fair.
If you're looking at this, I thought Berhalter was a problem. So do you think the issue itself wasn't Berhalter personally? I think she's saying is maybe it's the players.
Well, it's both. Let's be real fair.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, some people were chiming in going like, I think she means U.S. soccer and the whole organization. No, she's not saying that shit. Fuck that. She wants a career.
I mean, the most hilarious thing about all of this is that Poch is saying that Berhalter developed this team that was all about playing golf and having dinner with their friends and family and not caring about the game and being disinterested and not playing with a chip on their shoulder and not with any guts and didn't care about the national team as much as they should. That's what Poch said. And then Greg came out with a quote not long after that or before that said, yeah, we were kind of worried about our players being distracted, not being focused. So, like, Greg is agreeing. So that's kind of crazy because Berhalter seems to be pushing a lot of the blame on the Greg era. Greg, you gave me a load of shit culture. And I got to change that culture because what you gave me was a load of shit. And Greg's like, yeah, I kind of did. I kind of did give you a load of shit. I think if Greg had a chance to reply now, he might say, well, it wasn't that bad. Come on, dude. I think he would say that now. He'd be like, come on, man. You can't blame this all.
What the fuck?
You can't blame this all on me, dude. All right. I mean, he hasn't said that, but I mean, after as much as Poch has hammered home how bad our culture is that Greg left him, like at some point, Greg's got to feel slighted and feel like it wasn't great, but it wasn't complete, like poop on a stick. Jesus.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried about this argument. Yeah, I agree. Carly stepped in a pile of poo here and didn't know how to clean it up and just say clearly.
Not only did she not know how to clean it up, but she doubled down and tried to made it worse. You clearly missed the whole point, like many others. Carly, you have a blue check mark. Fucking make your point.
Come on.
Instead of making a generic, broad statement, go out there and say, hey, I thought Berhalter was the problem. Maybe it was, in fact, the players fucking around. Then we know what you're talking about.
And that's what she's saying. But,
sure.
I mean, to say that without saying that both coaches are a problem, too, is not.
But you
missing the point.
You can't clap back and say, you missed the whole point. You didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't. You gave us a broad statement.
Yep.
Of saying, I thought Berhalter was the problem. Well, he was a problem. Yes.
What are we supposed to read your fucking mind, cuz?
Coach is the problem. Yes. The players are a problem. Yes. There are a lot of fucking problems. State your fucking mind. You have the blue fucking check mark. You have more than 250 characters. Go at it. It's okay. But here's the issue I've got. And I think this is her channeling certain, like I said, Lawless to an extent, as far as like the interaction aspect. But that type of statement, making that statement, is in fact a troll. And it is in fact to just draw in reactions, in conversations, talking points. I mean,
Lawless,
we went back to look.
Lawless is not doing this anymore.
Not anymore, I agree.
But when he did it on purpose. She did it on accident and then went, oh, shit, I just got called out. And then went, you just don't understand me. Whatever. I think you were called out, and it wasn't like Punch called you excuse me. It wasn't like that Tack called you a cunt or something. So just respond to his question. Come on, cuz.
I mean, Tack does say, "Are people this stupid?" And I mean, I can understand why Carly clapped back on that. But to Tack's point,
true.
To Tack's point,
I wouldn't have put stupid in there. I agree.
Yeah, but to Tack's point, though, yes, Berhalter was a problem. Poch is a problem. Two things can be right at the same time. But simply coming out and saying, "Oh, I thought Berhalter was the problem." Well, then, yes, he was. And so were the players. And the players are still a problem, and so is the coach.
I just wish Tack wouldn't have put "Are people this stupid?" That's all.
Yeah.
It's my cousin. It's my cousin, Tack. You can't attack my cuz like that. All right.
When you post that stuff, you get that, though.
All right. I love the Collins in the comments saying we're bullying the pundits. Hey, we're bullying the pundits. I don't know if is that towards us? Oh my God. Anyhow,
I guess we're punching up and they're punching down, though. I mean, I don't like that argument either. I don't care. Here's my argument.
They don't punch down at all. No pundits punch at us at all.
I guess. unless
you want to
right here, you clearly missed the whole point. Like many others, it's kind of punching back down, though.
Not really, because
she's not calling him a moron or anything like that.
More people watch Tack Show than they see Carly Lloyd on a regular basis.
On a regular basis, yes, but I'll say if it was a Fox broadcast, no.
All right, that's fine.
But just the punching down. Okay, let's see here.
That's fine. We don't need to get into.
She's got almost 1 million fucking followers. As far as social media is concerned, she's punching down.
She's got a way bigger cock than he does. Yes.
But I don't like that argument. By all means, Carly, punch whomever is punching back at you. If there's a person with 15 followers that's calling you out on this, punch back. I don't care. It's tit for tat at that point. I hate that argument. Like, oh, you're punching down. No, fuck off. If this person's being a dick, I'm going to call him out for being a dick. And I'm saying that Tack's being a dick. He is being a troll, but aren't we all on social medias, right?
He shouldn't have called her stupid.
He just said are people this stupid? Like this comment was stupid is what he's saying.
You can't call my cousin stupid. That's all I'm saying.
Again, you said cousin, by the way.
And I don't hold any grudge against
this cousin. Oh,
I don't hold any grudge against Tack for that at all. He can call her stupid if he wants.
Oh, he absolutely can call her stupid. That's all.
I'm just saying. I wish he had not. But anyhow, what else we got? With the 412 of you here now, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandma, kiss your stepsister on the cheek. All right, we're coming to an end here, right?
We're winding down. Yes, absolutely.
The long and winding road that leads to this post. No, this we can't do fluff this late.
Well, this is the soccer talk. She's talking about U.S. soccer, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. First off, soccer talk. I don't know. That's a name, but it works.
Did I send you this?
No. This popped up on my feed naturally.
Okay, naturally, sure.
Maybe I just because I dig blondes. Whatever.
Oh yeah, you do. All right.
I suspect she's got a good opinion here. Let's listen to her.
Her boobs aren't as big as the one. Anyhow, all right.
Yeah.
Worried about right now with the U.S. men's national team. First off, do we think anyone has told the staff the U.S. is hosting the World Cup next year?
Yeah.
Mauricio Pochettino said that after he went to the Texas-Ohio State game for opening weekend of college football this season, that he was jealous of the atmospheres for college football games in this country.
That's fine.
Do you know why Texas-Ohio State was that electric? Because the product on the field speaks for itself. I mean, that game itself was horrible on the field, but you're talking about two programs who have historically been really good on the field. Being the product at times has sold itself. The U.S. men's national team has never gotten to that point. Not saying it's never going to happen, but it hasn't gotten to that point yet. The product that we saw against South Korea, I would argue that we don't even have an idea of who's going to be in the starting 11 for the U.S. men's national team in the World.
I mean, we do, but I don't think Poch does.
I think okay. I'm hoping he does.
I would hope so too.
You know what? But you don't want to live life with hope, right?
Yeah.
Hope's not usually good enough. You got to have some confirmations.
Bring her on to the TSRC. Hey guys, reach out to her and say, hey, you guys should absolutely jump on. You should absolutely jump on board the TSRC podcast.
Only if she's willing to talk about.
We'll bring her on.
Talk about
soccer.
blowjob. No, I mean soccer. Yes, sorry.
BJ Callahan, right?
BJ's Callahan.
Yeah,
Yes.
Callahan. Yeah, of course.
I kid. We respect.
100%. Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, I haven't disagreed with anything you said so far.
I've had my issues, but okay.
Are your issues that she has the Galaxy outfit behind her?
No, that's a plus.
That's the thing.
Although we suck, but that's okay.
World Cup is 9 months away. Maybe 5 spots are truly accounted for. I know that these are September friendlies, but this is the start of a World Cup year. And right now, how the general American population feels about the U.S. men's national team is the complete opposite of how they care about college football. Right now, it is widespread apathy and skepticism. I know tomorrow's game against Japan is just another friendly, but honestly, I think the U.S. has to get a result in order to avoid a full-on pre-World Cup crisis, and I'm not being dramatic.
Why couldn't I have married this chick?
I was just saying.
Why couldn't I have married a chick this passionate about this sport? I would still be married today if that were the case. We would have gotten past all the other things, miscarriages, whatever. We could have worked that out.
She likes the Galaxy, Derek. I think there's a hope there. Maybe.
Hey, I'm ready if she's ready. I'm here. I'm willing to come out of my cave. And yeah.
About
30 years too late. It is, brother. I'm fully aware of that. Trust me. I have no illusions about my sexual proclivities at this point. All right, Brent. What else we got?
I've got a family member that's constantly calling me right now.
All right, we'll just
put AAWP, by the way, on stop.
Switch to the next slide.
I'm gonna turn my fucking phone off. Is what I'm gonna do. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you weren't willing to pay enough, Derek. I could pay more than she. Well, anyhow. All right.
Hold on. Phone off. There we go. I was like 5 phone calls in the last 10 seconds.
And in that 10 seconds, we lost 30 viewers. All right.
I know, right? Right? I swear.
All right, let's close this bitch out.
Let's get that. We get the call what you want. Do you want to call what you want?
Yeah, let's do that, but let's be more picky now because time has dwindled. Do you have them marked off as the topic areas?
Yep, I got to pull up the.
Daniel said, "Is she trans?" I don't think so.
I don't see that at all. No.
Mm-mm.
She looked pretty fine to me.
Are you saying I'd only be attracted to her if she were? I don't know. What are we doing here?
What are we?
I am attracted to her because she's blonde, which I do favor, by the way. And I like redheads too. But she loves soccer. That's my point, right?
Yeah.
She
Okay.
really loves soccer, it seems to me.
All right. So let's see here. This is part of the show where they talk about firing Poch.
Yeah, let's do that.
Oh, hold up. Maximize.
About Mauricio Pochettino being relieved of his duties. We've seen with Morocco ahead of the 2022 World Cup that they fired their coach a couple months before the start of the tournament, and Walid Regragui came in and took over.
Are you really going to do this? Are you
And
really
I'm just saying, it's not that it. All I'm saying is that
know
there's
this
been.
is not happening. This is.
I'm just saying that it happened somewhere else, and it turned into a deep run. Listen, it's not.
Ten Hag. You think this is
I get
Ten Hag?
apples and oranges.
So
it's
does
not.
it sound to you like Jimmy is actually also saying we should fire Poch? Because it does to me.
I think Jimmy's posing it and saying, "Hey, I'm playing devil's advocate." Is what I'm saying here.
No.
I don't think either of these three guys. I don't think anybody is sitting there going like, "Poch is legitimately going to be fired." Here's the issue: we're still paying Berhalter, and then we're going to pay. Then we're going to pay Poch, and then we're going to bring in somebody else and pay him too. We had to go out to investors to get money for Poch.
But Brett, as Alexi said yesterday or the day before, whatever the fuck it was, when he lost his shit on his own show on Stu, who said the exact same argument you made was, this is a home World Cup. You do not sacrifice that for a guy you know is not right for the job. And if he's not right for the job, it does not matter what the price is. You fire him and you bring in.
You assume
BJ
that
Callahan.
U.S. Soccer is willing to accept fault and say, "Hey, we fucked up. We're
That's
wrong in
what
the situation."
Stu said too.
I'm saying, I can't believe I'm saying it. I'm agreeing with Stu here. U.S. Soccer's not going to own up to it. They're going to ride it out. They're going to suck it up. They're going to suck up all of Poch's cock and say, "Yes, we're going to go all the way through the 2026."
I absolutely agree with what you were saying. They're not going to suck it up. They are just going to leave him where he is. They're not going to touch him because of just what you said. They don't want to take the blame. But what Lala said is real. You are then all of you need to be fired and let go after the World Cup if it's a disaster. All of you. All of you are gone. And so,
I agree. Come next voting time, absolutely. 100%. We need change. We need change.
Is JT Batson sitting around going, this is not going well at all? And get me on the phone with Matt Crocker. Right? Get me on the phone with Matt Crocker.
We're never going to sell out to MLS or to US. Almost said MLS. We're never going to sell out to U.S. Soccer if you keep making fun of JT Batson.
Same thing.
I mean, it was Freudian slip, but I mean, it was accurate, right?
No, it was. So, yeah, I think if I'm JT Batson and I know in my gut this shit is not going well, and you're starting to hear it from the fans, and not just the fans, the mainstream pundits, the Alexi Lawlesses, the Jimmy Conrads on this show, other people. Fucking Hercules Gomez, others, even Craig Burley going at it on ESPN FC. Like,
who's the guy that you were talking about that posted the article? What's his name?
Doug McIntyre.
Doug McIntyre, yes.
Not calling for his resignation, but certainly being super critical, brutal about the situation that we're in.
Yeah, the fact that you have the pundits now on board. You know shit's fucked and you're up shit's creek. The problem is we're less than a year out. We're less than a year out at this point, and I don't think U.S. Soccer is going to gonna shoot. I don't think they're gonna shoot their load. I don't think it is. Sorry.
I don't think they're gonna change anything either.
I know you agree.
As Alexi said, if this is truly the disaster that it looks to be, why not change? If we're that big of cowards at this point, that we can't pull the plug on something that is obviously a disaster in the making, then we're going to have a horrible World Cup, and the effects of a horrible World Cup will be felt for generations going forward. It will affect American soccer development. It will affect the love of the game. It will affect the fans and how much they care.
What do we remember from the '94 World Cup when we last hosted? We
Success.
Mind you, own goal related, but we beat the number 4 team in the world, Colombia. Holy shit! And then we went toe to toe with Brazil and required a karate chop.
Yeah, to Ramos's head. Yeah,
seriously. I mean, these were moments where we were punching above our weight limit, and now we're sitting here going like, "Geez, I fucking hope we get out of the group stage because that's how dismal position we're in right now."
I hate saying this. No, I don't anymore. Since I've got to know him a lot better, I'm with Lawless. This isn't worth it. If this isn't working, pull the plug. Pull the plug. If October is a complete disaster too, pull the plug. Pull it. You got to suck up the loss and hire someone on the cheap. BJ would be cheap. He'd be extremely cheap.
Yeah. Let's hit these super chats. Let's move through this pretty quickly here.
Look for a lady in Columbus, Swatsky, U.S. men's national team fan.
There you go, Derek.
I'm looking for a lady. Swatsky's a lady.
Look for a lady in Columbus. No. Look for a lady in Columbus who's a Swatsky fan.
I probably don't want to cause any hurt feelings there, so I'm just going to watch the game for the most part.
Yeah. Wuxia for $5 says, when you're gambling in a casino, you don't keep putting coins in the slot. You stop and run like hell out of the lair of the Lotus Eaters.
Yeah,
I don't do slot machines anyways, man. Slots are no luck. I mean, there's no luck whatsoever there. I fuck that. I'll take a game like blackjack any day of the week, where at least you have some chance of skill there, which is still not skill because I mean you're still like playing. There's still like like statistical choices for you to make. Well, if this happens and this happens, we'll go. You got to bet. You might lose, but it is what it is.
I agree with you, except for down in our what's the place in southern Indiana where Larry Bird was from, where they have all the betting. French Lick. Guess what? They no longer have dealers for blackjack.
All digital dealers? Oh,
it's
man,
all digital dealers.
Fuck. Anderson has digital dealers too. I'm like, fucking hell.
Fuck that. I'm not.
I don't trust that shit for shit, man.
I do not trust it either.
No.
All right. What one are we on now?
This is about soccer culture.
Do you know how many years we played where stands were empty? Do you know how many years we played at home and it's 99% the other team's supporters?
See, I always remember the 99% the other team's supporters more so than empty stadiums. I guess U.S. soccer was playing back.
Well, he's not saying they're one and the same. He's just saying that there were games where there was no one there, and there were games where the other team had all the fans. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I mean, he's basically talking about how the soccer culture has been developed and built. I'm not sure what you're bitching about, Poch.
Right.
Let's see here.
Keep going.
Oh, you want to keep playing? Okay.
Yep.
We still were able to do incredible shit. So I don't want to hear that anymore.
Whoa.
In 94, Tony, I didn't know about the sport, period. I didn't know about the sport, period. I didn't see it played ever. You and your squad made a run in the 94 World Cup on home soil. No one knew, really, the general public in the United States, no one knew who you guys were. No one watched the sport. And all of a sudden, because of how you guys played, you inspired a whole country, inspired enough wealthy people.
Yeah.
You get his point. Yeah.
Yeah, he talked about how he went I think he saw the U.S. play in Foxborough and stuff like that, and how it inspired him to want to go into playing the sport.
Yeah, I don't want to hear
that moment, you know?
Yeah, I don't want to hear all this crybaby shit from Poch about they're not a fans in the stands. We've been dealing with that forever, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
All right, next step.
Hold on, I gotta get that. Where are we at? 1850, I think it was. Let's talk about the entertainment aspect of it.
Nor can I defend them. the follow-up question was, will you have a strong team? Can you aim for something big? And he responded with, that's what we all want, right? We're in the middle of the process. I think it's really about the mentality. Soccer has to be understood as a true football here. If players in the U.S. keep seeing it only as entertainment, as a show to please
get
the fans,
the hell out of here with that.
Yeah. Is that what you think? The players are only doing it for entertainment? That's horrible. That's a horrible quote. And I don't even know. And yeah, Charlie goes like he
goes the absolute ham on this. Yeah.
Yeah, he leaves for a while. Yep.
We'll let it run for a second.
Yeah, let it run
it's
for a
just
little
it's fun to hear him
longer.
rant.
Okay, Chuck, hold on. Let me finish it. The U.S. keeps seeing it only as entertainment, as a show to please the fans, and it'll be very hard to compete and achieve something meaningful. I don't think our fans are being very entertained right now. That's what I'll jump in with. But if we start competing, this is back to him, but if we start competing with the seriousness this sport demands, then yes, I believe we can perform well. Football isn't just about stepping onto the field to have fun. It's about living a certain way, preparing yourself so you can bring that onto the pitch. We're laying the foundations now, but the real question is whether we'll be ready in time. That's the challenge we face. Still, our goal is to help set the first
That's what you were brought here to do.
The game.
Yeah. I'll be right
You're
back.
not-
I'm getting hounded by my wife real quick. I'll be right back.
Oh Jesus! We'll just push play for a second. I don't know what to do with this. I can't. Yeah, I can't do that.
What, you can't do what?
I can't push play.
No,
So-
you can't. I agree. But I play like a minute long segment there. You wanted me to play it on, so I figured you had something to talk
How
about.
long are you going to be gone?
I don't know. A few minutes most.
Well, then just play the whole video and I'll yell over it.
Okay.
Will be understood differently here. Dude, I don't care about any of the culture stuff. We
You
want our
were-
team to
you-
be better.
You were brought here to do that. That was, you knew the timeline when you came here. You knew that June 26th was.
What the hell is this? What kind of statement is this?
Jimmy, Tony.
Every time I read or listen to this, it drives me insane.
I want to hear this from the fans out there.
What the is he talking about?
If you've been a fan of the U.S. men's national team for 20 plus years, and you hear all of a sudden a coach who comes in with a year to go for a World Cup, and he starts talking about the fans aren't good enough. They don't show. They don't show up.
We're only here for entertainment purposes.
They're only here for entertainment. They don't care about. This
on,
isn't a
dude.
football nation.
What?
I became a U.S. fan, really a fan, when I went to the U.S. Mexico game in Foxborough. It was the U.S. supporters that said, "Oh," I said, "Damn, I want to be on the field because they got me pumped up." That it was their support that led me to say, "This is the dream game I want to be a part of." And every damn U.S. men's national team game, those fans showed up. Like I remember Sam's Army. That was the big thing. Now it's American Outlaws showing up in Mexico City, risking their lives. You know, it was 110,000 people. They went out and support us, and we heard them. It was so quiet. After I scored in that 9th minute, I could hear all of them. And I remember thinking, damn, these people care. This is a country that loves the game.
Well, I don't think they love the game as much as we'd like them to be. But is that really Pochettino's job going forward? To build the fans or want more fans? Here's an idea, dickhead. Win some fucking games, and people will come to the games. If you start winning, people will come. You keep fucking around, no, people are not going to come. It's pretty simple as that.
The malaise that seeped into the team because these guys just thought they were going to be automatic locks from after 2022 into 2026. And you felt then and I can understand why Mauricio Pochettino is doing some of it, but listen, when he took the job, he had less than 2 years to get that all figured out. And I think he has enough experience.
I'll pause it here because I just got back, obviously. That's annoying, first off.
Yes, I'm sure it is.
Muting that shit.
Yeah, move on. Move on to the next tab. I've already gone through quite a few while you were gone.
Let's see here. 25. 12. All right, this is the wasted opportunities segment.
Yep.
his absolute best players that we talked about earlier, this camp is a waste.
Waste. They've already wasted half of it.
We wasted an opportunity for the
Shut
one
up, Jimmy.
thing we've been arguing about for years is the lack of World Cup quality opponents. And a lot has to do with European Nations League. You finally have two opponents that you could potentially see in a World Cup, and you're experimenting. For me, the logic doesn't make sense.
Hey, Jub Riven gave you a
That's
layup.
it.
He said it was
Yeah, what a jackass. And he did it with Switzerland too. And he did it with Turkey too. Like, those are the real games where we're facing non-CONCACAF teams that will actually compete with us. So,
yeah.
And we skipped them. We absolutely skipped it. So,
yeah.
Anyway,
this little clip right here is to go off of what I'm pretty sure this probably happened just after what we were stopping at. But he talks about how this is a wasted opportunity, how you want to, if you want to test players, what you want to do here. So.
Yep.
I'm okay with experiments. I tell you all the time, when you bring one or two guys into the first team, it's easier to see what they can do. When you add 5, 6, 7, it never works ever.
Absolutely. That's so fucking true. Because now you got too many new guys on the pitch at the same time. You fucking moron.
Well, again, you're never going to know.
I'm not
how
talking you. Not calling you a moron. I'm talking Poch is a moron.
You're never going to figure out how like Berhalter is going to play alongside, a starting lineup, or you're never going to figure out how McKennie or how Luna or how anybody is going to play alongside a core squad. Because guess what? Unless Poch is an absolute fucking moron, and then he does play 7 MLS players in come World Cup, these guys are going to jump into the A squad, and you have no idea how they're going to work with them.
Not if you play 4 of them, 5 of them at a time. You got to ease them in. Like this throwing Blackman to the Wolves thing. If I'm Blackman, I'm thankful I got the chance, but was it really a chance? No. He was going to get crushed. You're throwing him to the Wolves. You should have integrated him months ago if you thought he's that good and give him a real opportunity.
Give him 20 or 30 minutes in the second half at the
Here
end of the
and
game,
there. Yeah.
Then start against Japan or something like that. You don't just say, hey, your first fucking call up ever, and you're going to start against South Korea. Go and have fun.
Yeah. I mean, the bottom line is the way this is being done is not been done this egregiously by any coach I can remember in U.S. men's national team history. It's always been, all right, we brought in 1 or 2 new guys. We're going to give them some 20 minutes here, some 15. We'll see how they go. We're going to kind of ease everybody in, see how it works out. If they don't work out, at least they played 10, 20, 30 here, 40 here, but no, that's not what we're doing.
Aside from a Camp Cupcake, can you remember a single camp where you went from a core 23 to half the squad being more or less new call-ups?
13, 16, sometimes players.
I'm not even saying, hey, can you remember a camp that had 13 MLS players? Because yes, we had that, absolutely, 100%. We had World Cups like that. But the fact of the matter is, those players were all integrated throughout the cycle. Whereas now you're talking about Gold Cup. Yeah, Gold Cup, we have that too from time to time, where you have a bunch of new faces in there, of course, because the Nations League and whatnot. But then this window is just like Gold Cup and Camp Cup meshed together in that sense. You're thrusting half the squad as players who've never played together / probably most likely have no chance whatsoever of making the World Cup squad.
Yep, absolutely.
So
Derek and Brett will be heckling Poch tomorrow. From our standpoint, I doubt he will hear us.
You ever see the guys that I think it's like the San Diego baseball team or whatever. Maybe it's San Diego. I'm not sure. No, maybe it's Dodgers. I'm not sure. But they're like heckling players. They're heckling players from the
second level.
Hey, Tony, I bet you complete your taxes before January, stuff like that. And they're like, yeah, bum. You know.
Yep. All right. Well,
they're funny.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow we're going to be at the game in Columbus. Brett will be taking footage and posting it up on Twitter. We'll probably do, like, early on as we're seated, a quick breakdown of the starting lineup. I don't know. We'll see. And we'll post that up. And then we'll do a halftime report.
I think we might do some try to do some shorts in there just to get those up
Yeah.
while we're on the road and everything like that.
We'll do some on the road stuff too, where we're just kind of hanging out and talking with Chad and Brett and I about the game and what we expect. But, in the end, we're just hoping we don't get our asses handed to us tomorrow, which could actually happen. It could. And that'll be bad. And then there'll be another L to add to the list of L's in the friendlies section and the big tournament section, which is good. So, yeah, Poch can continue to be a freak and freak out about all the criticism that he's not only getting from us, but this time from everybody in mainstream. If it were Greg, I don't think we'd be getting this, honestly. But because he's a foreign manager, I think we are getting it. I think there is a difference there because Greg had some bad windows too. But we gave him, the mainstream gave him passes.
Welcome back, Miguel.
Yep. So,
MLS says the USMNT national team sucked. My wife left me and my dog ran away. I can't catch a break.
Your wife left you? I hope not, my man. Isn't she
all
pregnant?
because the USMNT national team sucks.
I think she's pregnant. I hope not. All right, Miguel Ortiz, $4.99. If we want to do what Morocco did last cycle, firing our coach before the World Cup, we need soccer dad BJ. Yeah. I mean, listen, he's the natural pick. He knows the team. He knows the pool. He knows the players. They love him. I mean, I have talked to people who know the players. They fucking love BJ Callahan. They would die on a fucking hill in a battle for him. They would take spears and arrows for him. They love that dude. All right. So, yeah. I mean, there's something to be said for that. I am not hearing behind the scenes from people who send me stuff who are connected with the players that they love Poch. I'm not hearing that. So, but I am not connected with the MLS players at all. So
yeah.
I can't, maybe the MLS players love Poch. Like I don't have any contacts with the Berhalters and the Arstons and I don't know any of those guys. I don't know their families. I don't know their friends. So I can't give you their perspective, but I do think there is consternation for sure with some of the core group about how the message has been going out that they don't care. There is consternation about that. There's a little concern. There's worry. And there's also worry about how this is all coming together and how long it is taking to get the core group back together or whatever the core group is going to be. And we'll find out in October, people. That's what we're going to do. Anyhow, we will be sending from the Straight Red Card Twitter, we will be sending you updates on our road trek to Columbus tomorrow and at halftime, beginning of the game, and probably at the very end, we'll do a 10-minute, 15-minute clip before we get in the car and head back to Indianapolis. Until then, thanks to the 462 of you who were here at one point. I might have gotten that number wrong, but it's somewhere near that. Anyhow, we do appreciate it. Hopefully we don't get creamed tomorrow. Hopefully we put on a good performance. Hopefully we got our shit together. We shall see. Until then, good night.
That hurt.
Blowjobs are a no for me.
It is a skill. It is a practice skill. It is a necessary skill.
The secret to a great blowjob is saliva, saliva, saliva.
It's important for us to learn from this because I think we lose because we beat ourselves.
You need to swallow it too.
I don't understand the problem here.
that people don't understand. Esophagus is the main player of the game.
Try to stay away from it as much as I can.
You can start by licking the tip.
I didn't understand it, but
Patrick Agyemang to Bambi or a newborn giraffe.